Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be predictions for the rest of 2022. But just before we get into it, I thought I would just sit down today with my face and just let you guys know what has been going on with life and stuff. And I also have a couple exciting announcements. First of all, let me tell you, I'm so happy that I'm able to get this video to you guys. Some of you guys might know this already, but I am currently a full-time student. I'm going to vocational school in Tokyo, which is it's kind of like college, but it's very specialized and the program is more condensed. So the program is only 2 years, but because it's shorter, the workload is more than like a 4-year university program. So a few months before this program started, I was pre-filming readings like crazy because I didn't want to stop doing the channel and I wanted to keep posting regular content even while I was busy with school. So for months I was like stockpiling all of these videos to release at a later date. Basically, my daily schedule consists of going to class and then coming home in the evening, and then I would film if I had the energy to do that. Maybe I'll film like 1-2 piles, if that. So obviously I wasn't making new content as frequently as before, so that's where my pre-filmed videos came in. I was relying on those, and then, you know, when I could, I would film some new videos to kind of add to that stash. So I had these videos saved on my MacBook, and then I also had them backed up to a hard disk, and then both of them failed on me. Both the MacBook and the hard disk. So imagine, like, months of work, months of messages for you guys is just gone. So I'm freaking out. Guys, you really need to keep yourself protected, okay? Because there was some clownery going on here, okay? Keep your energy protected, because let me tell you, all of my music, all of my other files are safe, but the YouTube videos are gone. Anyway, after sending my devices to multiple different places, getting news that there's nothing we can do, or getting news that is gonna be an exorbitant amount of money, finally I found a place that was able to rescue my data. I gotta start putting my stuff on a cloud or just like uploading it to YouTube and keeping it there. Like, lesson learned, but the past month and a half has been so scary. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling really bad for myself. Anyway, my videos are back and I'm so excited to share them with you now. But now I have to keep in mind that these videos are gonna be up a couple months later than I originally thought. Sometimes in readings, you guys know, I might mention like a specific time frame. So what if we have a reading and I'm like, the month of August could be significant, and you're like, August is not a thing anymore. I have created a new video. If at any point on this channel you're watching a video and you're like, that timing prediction does not make sense, that does not resonate anymore, that is already gone, there is a new video that you can get a timing prediction. So that's going to be linked in the description and the pinned comment for the next while until we're all caught up. In the readings that I've been filming recently, I try not to say like a specific, oh, like the month of blah 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 might be significant, or I will make a disclaimer like, I don't know when this video is going to be up, so like if that resonates with you, please feel free to claim this timing prediction. But yeah, you know what, I feel like this whole experience was a lesson to obviously back your stuff up on a cloud. Also, it was a lesson for me to slow down, because there was a period where I was really obsessed with like, I have to be immaculately balancing school and work, and there can't be any sort of slowing down in my content. And that's really messed up, I think. I was being too hard on myself. But anyway, I'm just glad that that is all behind us and we can get back to our regular programming. So the next announcement that I have is that my Patreon is back up. I took the months of July and August off, and I want to say thank you so much to my existing patrons for your patience. There was no new content posted during those months, and there were no charges during those months, but we are back in September. For those of you who don't know, on Patreon there are 2 extra pick a card readings posted every month, but the topics are decided by you. So at the beginning of every month, patrons comment what types of videos they want to see, and then I make a poll with as many of the suggestions as I can, and then the 2 most popular topics will be made into pick a card readings. That's back up and running. If you guys are interested in becoming a patron, it's only $5 per month, and you get to choose the topic, to vote on the topic, and of course to watch the exclusive pick a card reading. So that will be linked down below in the description and the pinned comment. And now this is the best one. Some of you guys have maybe seen me teasing these bad boys. Oh, you're gonna see my pajama bottoms. Wait for it. Wait. Jaja! We have KINO Tarot merch. I'm sure you guys all recognize this. You saw it like 2 minutes ago, or maybe longer, because maybe I was rambling for longer than that. This is the KINO Tarot Temple, and this is also the artwork of my song, Never Coming Down, which is the intro song. This is in collaboration with the amazing artist Maidenfield, who produced the song. So now on my website, kinotarot.com, you can purchase these hoodies. There's also a crew neck sweatshirt version of this. For reference, this is the largest size. It's oversized, it's very cozy. We also have these mugs, which I use this like every single day. And we also have these tote bags, which are quite large. You can fit a lot of stuff in this baby. I also use this on a weekly basis because I often lug my computers back and forth. If I'm spending a weekend at the mister's house, this is a perfect size. There's a lot of variations of the hoodies and sweatshirts. So there is a version of this temple with the morning sky, and then there's also a nighttime version, which is directly from the visualizer for this song. The other version has a nighttime sky, and then there's actually 2 people under the temple instead of 1. There's also versions with and without text. So this is obviously the text-free version. And then there are versions with lyrics from the song. So on the morning sky one, it says Never Coming Down. On the night sky one, it says My Only Way to See You is to Dream You. And honestly, this is so cozy. I will have a special offer going for the next 7 days where you can get 15% off anything in the merch store. There's also an option that you can send a message or a question to me with your purchase, and there's also an option for me to send you guys a little thank you video, which I haven't figured out yet, but I will. If you would like to support the channel and get this cozy attire, please feel free to visit kinotarot.com. But yes, that is everything. That's all the announcements. I'm just so happy that I have my videos to share with you, and now I can keep you warm too. So without further ado, let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So we are officially halfway through the year of 2022, which means that it's time for a rest of 2022 pick a card. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The format of this reading is going to be kind of similar to the monthly predictions that I do on my channel. If you guys are familiar with those, thank you by the way if you've been watching them. So we're going to start off with like a general overview portion of the reading where we're seeing the main energies that you guys are dealing with for the rest of the year and any really major events that you should know about. And then we're going to break it down into different areas of your life. But I'm gonna do a couple more than what I would normally do in like the monthly predictions. So we're gonna start by taking a look at you. So who you've become as a person and how you've grown and just who you are. And then we're gonna take a look at your home and your living situation. So where are you gonna be? Who are you gonna be living with? What's your home gonna be like? And things like that. And then we're gonna look at relationships, both platonic and romantic relationships. And then finally, we're gonna take a look at your career, your abundance, the pursuit of your goals, and things like that. And then we will finish off the reading with advice for you to get through the rest of the year. So there are 4 options for you guys to choose from today. Each option has a different tarot deck and a different crystal. Because this is the year 2022, that's a 6 year. Like if you add up 2022, it equals 6. So I'm going to be showing you different sixes from each of the decks so that you can see what the artwork looks like. And each one, it's going to be a different minor arcana, you know, like a six of a different suit. You guys get it. But yeah, without further ado, let's give you guys a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your stone is Fluorite, your deck is the Way of the Panda Tarot, and your 6 is the 6 of Cups. Option number 2, your stone is Yellow Opal, your deck is the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, and your 6 is the 6 of Wands. Option number 3, your stone is Pink Chalcedony, your deck is the Pastel Journey Tarot, and your 6 is the 6 of Swords. And option number 4, your stone is Amber, your deck is the Oriens Tarot, I hope I'm saying that correctly, and your 6 is the 6 of Pentacles. So just in case you guys need a bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare and see which one is calling to you the most. Take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Fluorite and the Way of the Panda Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So I'm just going to set this aside for a second because we're going to start off with our oracle cards to get a feel for the main energies or major events that you guys are going to be dealing with in the rest of 2022. So let's get into it. So your first card is Pleasure, True Love, The Rose's Kiss. Oh my goodness. We're starting off strong here. Blessings, A Fiery Climax Approaches, Full Moon in Aries, and the Third House. Okay, so I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell, but there is a lot of passion going on here. There's a lot of love messages going on here. So I do feel that the rest of 2022 is going to be a very exciting time for your love life. With this message of Fiery Climax Approaches here, it does give me the feeling of something that you've been waiting for patiently or impatiently waiting for, that you've been feeling antsy about, and that this anticipation has been building up. Your desired outcome is finally here. So of course this is going to be different for everybody, as you might be in different like places, different relationship statuses, but this could be finally meeting somebody new, or finally getting with the person you've been wanting to get with, or moving things to the next level with your partner if you're already with somebody. But yeah, it definitely has this feeling of like the anticipation has been building up, the tension has been building up, and what you have wanted is finally here. And for those of you who are sexual people, I have to say, I think that this is going to be accompanied with an explosion of pleasure. I feel like in the rest of the year, that area of your life could be very fulfilling. You could be really enjoying yourself with a special someone, or honestly even by yourself, but that area of your life I think is going to be very, very blessed in the end of this year. And actually, another message that was coming through for me is that I feel like with the rest of 2022, you guys are just totally falling in love with yourselves from the inside out. But there is sort of an emphasis on feeling very comfortable in your skin. For one, this blessings card with the person who is nude on it, it was making me think of like falling in love with your natural self. So you could be becoming really comfortable with yourself, like your bare face or your natural hair, embracing your natural hair or your natural body. If any of you guys were thinking about getting some kind of cosmetic procedure, obviously I can't tell you what to do, but I might advise to at least not do it for the rest of this year, because you might actually just completely fall in love with that part of yourself or feel like you don't need to change it. And you might actually be changing your mind. I'm just getting that feeling of you guys really, really loving and embracing who you are naturally. And again, there's an emphasis on like the physical aspect, because we also have the, oh, this is the sacral chakra actually, but originally I thought it was the root chakra, and it was making me think of like getting very comfortable with yourself, getting very intimate with yourself, just really falling in love. And the rose is making me think of gentleness as well, you know, the delicate and gentle rose petals. I think that you guys are becoming really, or learning how to be very gentle with yourself, and also recognizing that the truest love that you will ever have is you. And I feel like you're gonna stop punishing yourself, you're gonna stop punishing your body, and you're really gonna start listening to what your body needs, and not what you think it should have, or not how you think it should behave because of harsh judgments or because of societal standards. Like, you're forming a really close relationship with yourself and saying, I will give you what you want, I will give you what you need, and it doesn't matter what society thinks I should look like my body and how I govern myself is nobody's business but my own. And you're developing that inner strength to really stand up for yourself and really look out for yourself and take care of yourself. So the way you nourish your body, what you eat, or how you move your body, or how you rest your body, that's completely your business. And I feel like you're going to be confident in the way you take care of yourself and not really be swayed by, you know, what other people expect or what other people are doing. That's their relationship with themselves, and that's good for them, and it has nothing to do with me. So it's like you're getting really up close and personal with your own self and with your own body, and also allowing yourself to experience pleasure, whether that is through your sexuality, or whether that is through food, or physical activity, or creative expression. I feel like you guys are really getting in touch with what sets you alight, with what I don't know, what makes you tick. I was gonna say what turns you on, and you know, it can very much be that as well, but you're really getting in touch with what makes you tick, what gets you going, and you're putting your pleasure first. And so I see an amazing relationship with yourself, and also, like I said at the start, there is potential for an amazing relationship with someone else, and I do feel it's something that you guys have been really, really wanting. We have 2 full moons here, which means that emotions have been really, really ramped up. Emotions have been really, really running high when it comes to love, or when it comes to a certain person. And all of this pent up energy with this Aries energy here, all of this pent up energy is just exploding. It's finally being let out. And actually the full moon in Aries, I believe it's in the month of October. So October could be a significant time. And we also have the number 9. So it could be September and October that you're going to be seeing some really amazing blessings, or that, you know, your relationship with yourself and how you love yourself is reaching an all-time high. But let's take a look at this 3rd house card as well. This is like the only one that I haven't addressed yet. For those of you who are resonating with this, speaking about blessings and a climax coming with a person of interest, or with a partner, this could be indicating that your communication with this person is going to become a lot more frequent, or is going to become a lot more fulfilling. So when you do communicate, you really feel that you are understanding each other, you really feel that you're being more open. So, you know, Aries energy is quite blunt and direct. So with this next to the 3rd house, I feel like this is very straightforward communication that doesn't leave any room for second guessing, or, you know, things being left to interpretation. So this could be your person of interest or your partner being very, very direct with you and being very, very open with you. But I also want to look at the keywords that are on this card. So we have your ideas, short-term thinking and trips, who or what is around you. So you guys could be going on some kind of trip before the end of this year, just for pleasure. I don't think that this would be a business trip. I could see you guys either going on a solo trip, a trip with this special someone, or with your friends as well, because you know, the third house does make me think of like your peers, the people that you hang out with every day. So yeah, yourself, your loved one, or your friends. I don't really think that it's a business trip. Of course it could be. I won't rule it out completely, but I'm getting more of like a vibe that you're going somewhere for personal pleasure. Some of you guys might be going to like a music festival or something with your friends, or doing something outside, doing something outdoorsy. And then on the other side of this, we have by making the right connections, the idea in question, get your ideas going. So for those of you who have ideas to start a creative project, or there's a specific career or professional goal that you guys are working towards, I think that by the end of this year, you're gonna, oh yeah, this is like how you know that you're manifesting your professional goal, or this is how you know like this is your sign to move forward with this project, is because you're gonna start meeting people or getting put in the same spaces as people who are doing something similar. So like if you've been thinking, wow, I should really start writing my book, or thinking, should I write a book? Then Spirit is gonna start bumping you into writers or editors or publishers or illustrators or I don't know, managers, people who could work alongside you, or people you could take inspiration from, or like you were thinking that you want to get into fashion, and then you go to a party and there's like 8 people there who are in fashion. You start getting, you know, put in those spaces where people you would aspire to or people you would relate to are like coming out of the woodwork is not the right word, but you know, they're just like popping up everywhere. And I feel like you are definitely being encouraged to take that opportunity to network and to make those connections, and to believe in yourself enough to talk about what you want to do. So like if you know, in the person writing a book, for example, you might meet somebody who is like a publisher or who is a fellow writer, and there might be a part of you that wants to mention like, oh, I've been thinking of writing a book, or I have a draft, but then you're like, oh, but you know, it's not so serious, or I'm not on this person's level, so I shouldn't mention it anyway. And I think Spirit is saying like, believe in your craft and be confident in what you've made, even if it's like on a smaller scale than what the other person is doing. Don't feel like it's any less valid or that it's any less good work. And you know, talk about what you want to do, talk about your future plans, and the more you put yourself out there and talk about it, the more you're going to develop those connections, and you could get some advice or some mentorship from these people. Like, it's only going to be positives if you speak up. You know, the third house is all about communication, and this who or what is around you, making the right connections, getting your ideas going. I feel like this is a really, really positive sign for networking, and you know, meeting potential collaborators or people who could potentially promote you, or who could potentially mentor you. So the rest of 2022 is definitely a time for you guys to put your ideas out there. I feel like luck will favor you if you do put yourself in a bit more of an extroverted energy. So, you know, accepting invitations or initiating contact with people, that will go very favorably for you. Like the more you come out of your shell, the more you're going to be rewarded, is the kind of vibe that I'm seeing here. So, wow, this looks amazing. So let's get into your tarot now, which by the way, this deck is so adorable, which maybe that's why you picked it if you saw the 6 of Cups. So now we're going to get into the specific areas of your life. That's probably good. So for group number 1, the first thing we want to see is the card representing yourself. So the person you've become, how you've grown, how you're expressing yourself. Oh my gosh, we have the 6 of Wands. Your living situation or your home, we have Temperance. Ooh. For your, let's start with platonic relationships. We have the Two of Cups. Oh, for, you see how freaking cute this deck is? Look at these little babies. They're so cute. Okay. For your romantic relationships, we have the Four of Cups. And for your career, your abundance, your goals, we have the Four of Pentacles. And I think I'm also going to take, yeah, I'm going to look at the bottom energy. We have the Five of Swords as the bottom of the deck energy. That's interesting. There's like papers flying, and then we had like the script here. And we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse underneath that. So like someone is not cooperating, someone's not being a team player, someone's being kind of confrontational. Okay, I'm gonna leave this to the side. This might be like a specific event coming up by the end of the year that we'll address. But yeah, something looks a little bit chaotic if I'm being honest. But let's get into the good stuff first. Okay, so the first card that we have to represent you is the Six of Wands. This is actually one of the minor arcana that I do remember the zodiac association. It is associated with the sign of Leo and the planet Jupiter, which means that, and I mean, we've already seen this, you guys are feeling super duper confident and super duper, okay. We'll get to this at the end. Super duper confident and super duper in love with yourselves. You've discovered that you are your own true love and you're feeling very, very good about yourself. This is even further confirmation that if you guys put yourself out there, you're going to be very successful and you're going to be celebrated, because the Six of Wands talks about victory. It talks about getting the desired outcome that you want. I just noticed that this panda has like a little unicorn horn, and unicorns make me think of embracing your uniqueness or embracing your weirdness. So yeah, and it makes sense because you guys are so in touch with your true self and you're not modifying yourself or policing yourself anymore to fit societal standards. And I actually think that when you come out of your shell and you show who you truly are, you're going to be so admired for that. You're going to be so celebrated for that. I feel like you're reaching some kind of milestone by the end of the year, some kind of professional milestone, or you're putting out some kind of project that is really successful. But I see that people around you are going to be very, very proud of you. And there's going to be people who are like, it's like there's people bragging that they know you, or they're talking really positive stuff even when you're not around, or like they're sharing you and sharing about your relationship on social media. It's like people are proud of you. People want to brag about you. People want to show you off. And I feel like your confident energy is really contagious. There is an energy here as well of becoming popular or becoming famous. So whatever you guys do, I feel like your reputation is going to be growing. So even if you guys are like a company employee, this could be like you're performing really, really well. So then everybody is congratulating you. Everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to be around you. You're being applauded. You're being, given the credit and recognition for your hard work. Of course, this will depend if you're in a career field where this is, well, I guess it's possible in any career field to kind of become famous for something or to go viral for something. I feel like in the age of the internet, anybody could, but there's something happening by the end of this year that's going to bring you a lot of attention. And it is going to bring you a lot of positive attention, and it's going to make you feel very, very good about yourself. Yeah, and it's if you take this energy, if you choose to come out of your shell, if you choose to put yourself out there, you will definitely be positively rewarded and highly, highly celebrated. And for those of you who are working towards growing your platform or becoming becoming famous or becoming well known or becoming talked about, there is a very, very high potential for that. And if you guys are like self-employed or have your own business, I feel like, you know, the buzz around you is just really going to be growing, and it's all positive. And also, I think that this is talking about you guys really feeling in charge of your own life, because the Six of Wands is like a leader. So I feel it's like you're really becoming the boss of your own life. You're really feeling in charge of your own life. The Aries energy is making me think that as well. It's like you've become your own main character and you're really taking the driver's seat in your life. And okay, I just want to say what I think this is about, because I feel like it's totally tied to this Six of Wands. You see, the Five of Swords is about conflicts, arguments. Definitely these two pandas are not seeing eye to eye. You know, this person is having a word, having kind of a harsh word with the other panda, letting them have it. And, you know, the Three of Pentacles in reverse would indicate someone who is not cooperative. And I feel like when you guys start to really come into your own and really start to spread your wings and really start to find your independence, like I said, reaction is overwhelmingly positive, but there might be one particular person who is not really having it. I don't like to see group one spreading their wings. I don't like to see group one becoming super independent and successful. And they might try to make you feel like you're not being a team player, you're not being cooperative. If I could give an example that's quite easy to understand, let's say you are working a job and then your passion project or your side project or like your independent endeavor becomes really, really, really successful, and then you're able to support yourself. And so you make the decision to walk away from this job. And, you know, rather than being happy for you like everybody else, there could be one person, like a coworker or a boss or something, who is honestly maybe trying to make you feel guilty, or like, you know, you're abandoning the team or something like that. But this person is really just trying to, you know, keep you small for their own comfort. I guess it could be a friend or a family member as well. But you might have, and I really do feel like it's just one person who is kind of giving you a hard time. However, I feel like by the time you're in this energy, like, you're already your number one. You're already your true love. You're already your main character. So I don't think you will really fall for this, but I guess the cards just did want to point out that, you know, something like this could be occurring. Just something to look out for, because, you know, we do want to give you a heads up even for the more challenging energies. But yeah, I definitely think that's what this is talking about. So moving on to your home and your living situation, we have Temperance here. I think that you guys are going to have a really nice balance in the rest of the year for the time that you spend at home and the time that you spend outside. And of course that balance is different for everybody, but I feel like you guys are reaching your ideal balance, where you have your me time, you have your downtime, and then you have your out and about time. And you're definitely going to be out and about for the rest of this year. But you know, this is about balance and health and moderation. So I also think, and also, yeah, moderation or like discipline. So I feel like you guys will be keeping your home very neat and tidy as well, and feeling really, really comfortable in your home. There are some of you, I think, who will be considering moving, or will even have an urge to move somewhere kind of far away, because Temperance is Sagittarius energy. So you might be thinking you want to like, oh, and sorry, Sagittarius talks about like foreign lands or foreigners or travel, expanding your horizons basically. And I'm thinking back to, you know, some of you guys might take a trip. In the rest of this year, you guys might go somewhere for travel and then just really fall in love with that place and think like, oh my gosh, I want to live here. It could also be another city, like maybe, I just thought of Toronto, probably because that's like me when I was living in Canada. I would go visit friends in Toronto and then be like, oh my gosh, it's so nice here, I could totally see myself living here. So it might be something like that where you guys go to visit friends and wow, this city is really nice, or this country is really nice, and you start thinking you want to make a more like a more long distance move. But I feel like at least within the rest of this year, this is maybe a time that is more for planning and gathering information. I don't necessarily see big moves being made in the rest of 2022. Maybe smaller distance moves like within the same city, or like, you know, the neighboring town, something like that could be possible. But for more long-term moves, I'm seeing more that the rest of this year is about planning and, you know, talking to people who live there, or watching YouTube videos of people who live there, and just getting as much information as you can. Because temperance is about like looking at the big picture and being patient and definitely not being impulsive. But yeah, at least what I can see for your home life is that you're feeling very balanced, you're feeling very at peace in your home, you're taking good care of your home. We know that you're taking good care of yourself, and you have a good balance of at home and outside time, and also of alone time and with other people time. So even if you live with other people, I do feel like in the rest of this year, you'll have a really nice balance of like having time to yourself and just getting to relax and chill by yourself. And then, you know, being around the people you live with. That balance is going to be really nice, or I should say your ideal balance. So moving on to your platonic relationships, we have the Two of Cups. As you guys might know, this talks about a soulmate relationship, or we can also label this as just like a two peas in a pod relationship, like two people who are inseparable. So I think that you could be meeting a new platonic soulmate by the end of this year, or this person could already be in your life, and you know, this bond is just going to be really, really special. This is definitely giving me best friend vibes. So like I said, you guys could be meeting a new best friend, or the relationship with your best friend is going to become really, really, really close. And this is definitely going to be a time where you feel like you can be super vulnerable with each other, and you might be feeling particularly, I don't know if sappy is the right word, but maybe particularly emotional, particularly sentimental. Within the rest of this year, it could be one or both of you who is really opening up and leaning on the other person for emotional support. I'm also seeing like someone is giving a really heartfelt gift, or giving a really heartfelt letter, or you guys are exchanging really heartfelt gifts or letters, and just really, really appreciating your friendship, and yeah, getting a little sappy with it, getting very, very sentimental with it. But yes, I see a very, very happy friendship here. And for those of you who do resonate with like soulmate, that kind of label, I definitely think that there is a platonic soulmate in your life already, or coming into your life in the rest of 2022. So moving on here, we have the Four of Cups. This is so cute. So as you guys know, like every deck has a different artwork, so I would interpret the meanings a little bit differently in every deck. What is really standing out to me in this deck, of course, I can't really see the panda's eyeballs, but we can judge from the way that their head is facing that they're actually maybe looking at this cup. Definitely, they're not in a position where they wouldn't be able to see it. And as you guys might know, normally with the Four of Cups, this is a cup that the main figure on the card is not looking at, or not seeing, or ignoring. But what this actually looks like for me is this panda is just bored of the cups here, and is looking up at this fourth cup, which is what they really, really want, but it's out of reach. And it's like someone's like, nah, 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 you can't have this. Like someone is maybe teasing this panda, or like dangling it just out of their reach. And I'm just thinking of, you know, the previous messages that we saw with the fiery climax approaching, and you guys being blessed in the love department. And I feel like, yeah, this is something that you guys, something is coming in your love life that you guys have been feeling impatient about, that you guys had been feeling antsy about, or like someone who is playing hard to get is coming around, or you know, the circumstances just weren't lining up. Divine timing was being divine timing. And yeah, you were impatient and you had a lot of pent-up energy and you had a lot of pent-up tension, and you were just waiting for the situation to change. And I feel like something that was just right out of your reach, you're finally getting it. And for some of you, this might not resonate for everybody, but for those of you who like, you had a person of interest and you weren't with them, you weren't in a relationship with them, I feel like this card could also be indicating that like maybe you've tried to just like move on and be with other people, but nobody's really done it for you. Or this card is indicating, you know, at this point with how you really feel for this person, even if you were to try to like move on and date somebody else, or even like, you know, hook up with somebody else, it would not butter your muffin in the same way. I need more expressions like that. It wouldn't make you tick. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't do it for you in the same way. Because the Four of Cups is also about like just being bored with your current situation, being dissatisfied with the way things currently are. And I feel like this panda just has their heart set on this cup that is just so close but so far away. And so I feel that anticipation building up, and yeah, I definitely think that's what this climax is talking about. So like a love manifestation is finally coming, the desired outcome is finally coming, you're finally coming. Okay, anyway, so let's move on to the Four of Pentacles, which is talking about your career and your abundance and the pursuit of your goals. I think you guys are definitely moving, you're definitely moving slowly and steadily, which I actually really like to see this, because I was feeling this energy of you guys reaching some important milestone by the end of this year, or you know, being quite successful at work or quite successful with a project. And I feel like the Four of Pentacles, you know, this is a very stable energy. And I think it's sort of indicating like this is just the beginning. This is just a small victory compared to where you're going in the future. And so rather than this moment of like blowing up and fizzling out, which can sometimes happen, the Four of Pentacles kind of assures that your success or your prominence or your wealth is going to be growing slowly but steadily. I am feeling called to tell you guys to be a little bit frugal in the rest of 2022. You know, really think it through before you make big purchases. And again, don't be afraid to talk, and don't be afraid to ask around, because there might be things that, you know, you think that you need to make this big purchase, you think that you need this equipment, or that you need this, I don't know, qualification or whatever it is to do what you want to do. But then if you ask around, your senpais, the people who came before you, they would tell you, oh no, you don't need that. Or like, oh, you need this equipment, you can borrow mine, or you can have mine, I don't use it anymore. Like I remember one time an acquaintance of mine just like gave me a microphone, and it was like a really nice one, and I still use it to this day. So you never know when a senpai can just like, I don't know, there's no word for that, but I feel like you guys know what senpai means, maybe. Anyway, you never know when a peer, or when, you know, someone who has more experience than you is going to, you know, lend something to you or give you a tip of like, oh no, don't buy it here because it's cheaper. So yeah, just think before you buy things, or ask around before you buy things, because there may be times where you don't need to. And I'm also feeling called to say, make sure that you put money aside for tax, because if you guys are like blowing up and suddenly a large amount of money is coming to you, if you think like, oh yay, all of this money is mine, then you're gonna be sorry later, because like, I don't know, 20% of it or however many percent of it is just gonna go back to the, not whatever the CRA is in other countries, the revenue agency. So yeah, be careful about that. If you guys are getting large sums of money, make sure that you put a big chunk of it aside, or like you're putting it to retirement or something like that. And yes, I feel like there will be instances within the rest of this year where you're able to save a lot of money if you just wait, or if you just ask somebody, or like you didn't really have to buy that. Yeah. But things are growing slowly but steadily. The Four of Pentacles is very sturdy. And for me personally, I think the Four of Pentacles means that you're on the right path. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, like, is there anything else I want to say? Sagittarius season could be significant as well, which is November, December. So, I mean, it makes sense. This is a reading about the rest of the year, and we see September, October, November, December. But yeah, the last 3-4 months of the year I think are going to be significant for you guys. So the next thing I want to do is this is like my little homemade deck with different words on it. So let's see what else you guys can expect in the rest of 2022. We have commitment. So somebody's offering you a committed relationship, or someone you're in a committed relationship with. You guys are going to be talking and moving things to the next level. I also think that you guys are committing to yourself. You're committing to moving forward with a certain project. You're committed to pursuing a certain path that you want to pursue. We also have truth. So that makes sense because we had that message about open and honest communication. Ooh, lost and found. When I wrote this card, I had so many different ideas for what it could mean. For one, it could be talking about a reunion that is coming into your life. So like maybe this love interest is coming back around from a separation, or maybe this best friend is like a friend that you kind of went your separate ways, that you kind of drifted apart, and you're having like a renaissance. Does that come from something? Anyway, it's like a silly little pun. You're having a friend renaissance or a friend rebirth with this person. It could literally be an item. Like if you guys lost an article of clothing, or you lost a charger, or you lost some item, you could be finding it by the end of this year and be like, oh my God, is that where it was? That's so stupid. Oh my gosh, I've done that so many times. But yeah, lost items could be coming back. Even if you guys are missing an animal, if you guys are missing a companion animal, this could mean that they are coming home. And then it could even be more abstract things, you know, like rekindling a passion that you had lost, that you had put on the back burner, getting back into your spiritual practice that you'd kind of, you know, fallen off the wagon. But yeah, it could be so many things. Or like just about a month ago, a few weeks ago, I remembered about a song that I was obsessed with in high school, and then I completely forgot about it for years, like for 10 years. And then I was talking to my dad, and he said the word slats, and then I was like, oh my God, slats, slats, slats by Skrillex. And then I rediscovered it, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. It was just as good as I remembered. If you guys like electronic music, you should listen to Slats, Slats, Slats. But, you know, just rediscovering stuff, rediscovering an old photo album or something like that. Anyway, that's a lot of examples. Okay, we look at this. We also have union, which we already know that. You guys are coming into union. We have nostalgia. So yeah, maybe you guys, the thing that you guys are finding is going to bring a lot of nostalgia to you. And then we also have destiny. Wow. Okay, so I do have a couple more oracle cards that I pulled these with the intention of them being advice, but it could be just anything else that you guys need to know about the rest of your year. Look, manifestation, what you desire is on its way. Your cup is on its way. Your blessings are on its way. Your fiery climax is on its way. Yeah, the rest of this year is going to be big for manifestations. And then we have everyone in your life is teaching you something. Are you learning? This is really, really beautiful. You know, I'm just thinking about you guys networking and really, you know, finding your circle and being put in the same space as people who inspire you and people you can learn from. And I was sort of getting that feeling of you guys maybe feeling a little bit nervous to talk about your plans or talk about your goals or talk about your projects or whatever it might be, feeling like, you know, these people are so much cooler than me, or they're so much more successful than me, and they probably don't care what I have to say, or, you know, having a little bit of, I don't know if imposter syndrome is the right word, but just feeling a little bit inferior or feeling a little bit shy. But I feel like the peers that you're surrounded with, first of all, they're just such good people, but I feel like they're very wise people in that, you know, this idea of like, you're above me, you're more experienced than me, you know more than me, it is very flawed at the end of the day, because humans are multifaceted, and we, you know, you might have more experience than me in this area, but I have more experience than you in that area. And it's just, it's inaccurate to say like, I'm above you and you're below me, so I teach you. We're all equals and we can all learn from each other. So I think you guys are going to be surprised that, you know, there might be some peers or some new people who are being put into your circle that you feel like you feel intimidated by them, or you feel below them, or something of that nature. But then you actually find that there's things that you can teach them. There's ways that you can help them. There's new perspectives that you can introduce them to, and they're open to that. And so I think this card is here to remind you that, you know, the way we humans classify each other and put each other on these scales and hierarchies, it is very, very flawed. At the end of the day, we're all equal, and there's no need to feel ashamed for where you are in one aspect of your journey, and or to think that you can't teach anyone something, or someone couldn't learn anything from you. Yeah, I think you guys get the picture. But we are going to finish off this reading with some tea leaf cards. Ooh, we have, yeah, obviously, duh, bouquet, compliments from an admirer. Wishbone, a wish is granted. Oh my goodness. Yep, manifestation, what you desire is on its way. You know, there's the opposite of this card. There's a broken wishbone, and it says a wish will not be granted. And it's very upsetting. We also have rose. Look at you guys getting all the good ones. Romance is in the air. You know, this deck is quite a roller coaster. I hope I didn't just jinx it, but there's definitely some bummer cards in here. What else does group number 1 need to know about the rest of the year? We have spear, heartache over what you no longer have. But, you know, my mind immediately went to this lost and found. Like, what you no longer have, what you've lost. This card says it's going to be found again. But, I mean, maybe this card is a little bit realistic as well, because with you guys leveling up, I feel like any transition has some kind of bittersweetness. Anytime you're stepping into a new territory, anytime you're stepping into a new version of yourself, there is something that you're letting go of. And anytime we move into the future, we will mourn the past. I think, maybe a little bit. Even if when we were in the past, we couldn't wait to get out of it and we were complaining about it, I feel like we'd always feel a tinge of like bittersweetness. We have Caterpillar, things will not always be this way, a change is coming. Yeah, so you guys are going through some kind of metamorphosis. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have psychic ability, trust your intuition. We also have something important, such as a new job or a raise. These were the cards at the bottom of the deck. So, I mean, the cards really speak for themselves. Group number 1, it looks like you guys are gonna have an amazing rest of the year. The only thing I could give a little bit of a warning about was this 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles in reverse person, trying to make you feel like you can't spread your wings or you can't be independent or something like that. And, you know, this maybe little bittersweet feeling as you evolve. Again, like even if during the time you were a caterpillar, you're like, oh, being a caterpillar sucks, I can't wait to be a butterfly. There's still a little bit, I think, when you are really in the moment and it's time to become a butterfly, you would look back and with a little bit of sadness, like, oh, I'm not going to be a caterpillar anymore. I feel like that's just kind of the way it goes. Like once you get in the moment and it's about to happen, you could feel a little bit of bittersweet feeling. But that's really it in terms of like warnings. And I feel like the rest of this reading was just like blessings, manifestation. So it looks like a really, really happy time for you guys. It looks like you're making amazing progress. You're really getting to where you want to go. And for many of you, I do feel that it's been a long time coming. You guys have definitely been you've been waiting. I was gonna say you've definitely been patient, but some of you have not been patient, but that's okay. You have definitely been waiting. And it's time for your climax. Yes. So group number 1, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to that one or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 1, I'm sending you guys so much love. I'm wishing you an amazing rest of the year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Yellow Opal and the Chakra Wisdom Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2022. So I'm gonna actually set this tarot deck aside for just a second because we're gonna start off with some oracle cards to get a feel for the main energies or the major events that you guys will be dealing with in the rest of this year. So let's take a look. To start off, we have Standstill. We have Confusion. Waking the Lion. Ooh, oh my gosh, I just got chills. Okay, we have Closure. The energy is gaining momentum with the waxing moon. And we have Pluto. Okay, wow. All right, one thing I want to mention, this card, the energy is gaining momentum. It tends to remind me of the spring season. I don't know if where you are in the world there is going to be a spring season in the rest of this year. Maybe if you're in the southern hemisphere there will be, but regardless, I feel like saying that this coming spring season, whenever it's happening next, is going to be a very important time for you guys. And I want to tell you as well with Pluto that there is deep transformation occurring in your life. And as you can see, the keywords on this card, at least in this, when it's facing this way, it says need for control, an obsession with, a power struggle. I feel like there has been a huge transformation occurring in your life, but maybe you guys have been having difficulty with, you know, surrendering control, surrendering to divine timing and things of that nature. But I definitely see a huge shift, a huge evolution occurring in your life. So I want to start over here with Standstill. I don't know if this is like a crane or a stork or what, but this kind of bird makes me think of long-term plans, long-term investments, long-term journeys. So there is something that you guys have been working on progressing towards. You have been working on manifesting a certain goal. You have been working on moving towards a specific destination in your life and getting a certain desired outcome. And for some of you, I feel like you've been on this journey for several years, but at the very least, you've been on this journey for a long time. And it could be that you guys have come up to a standstill right now, or at some point from now until the end of the year, things are going to start to slow down and you will find yourself at a standstill, meaning that you're not seeing progress in your manifestation anymore. You're not receiving contact from the parties involved, or things are just not changing. Things are not moving. And, you know, with this confusion card right next to this, I am taking this quite literally in the sense of you guys are feeling very confused with this development or lack thereof. And I'm feeling for many of you, this is because you received so much positive reinforcement from your spirit guides, from the universe, from the signs and synchronicities that were in your waking life, from the dreams that you saw when you were sleeping. You received so much confirmation that this was the path that you were meant to go on, or that this was the outcome that was coming to you. This was the blessing that was waiting for you. And so when you come to this standstill, I do feel like it is going to be quite confusing and it's going to be quite uncomfortable. It's like, if you were this bird in the water, you might have this instinct reaction to like try to fight the standstill, or to try to force certain circumstances to happen. And it feels like this feeling of frustration. And I think that if you guys are already in this energy, it would continue to go on this way for a little bit longer, or this could be an energy that you guys are entering into soon, where things are kind of slowing down, you're sort of reaching a plateau, or you keep seeing signs and synchronicities but nothing is moving. But coming up here, we have Waking the Lion. So I do want to say with this card that Leo season might be significant for you guys as well, or a Leo person could be significant, whether that is you or someone else. And I also want to point out that this is card number 19, which corresponds to the Sun in tarot, which is also a Leo card. So I just feel like Leo energy or Leo season is really important for you guys. But this is a card that is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and this has to do with your confidence, with the way that you express yourself, with the way that you show up in the world, with the way that you stand up for yourself. And it's so interesting because Leo energy is also about like inspiration, and I'm feeling a very masculine energy coming from this card. So this is making me think of inspired action. And the thing that kind of gave me chills was like the point that you've reached on your journey is kind of like a calm before the storm. I just noticed you guys are drawn to a Yellowstone as well. So solar plexus could be very important for you guys as well, working on that energy center. You've come to sort of like a calm before the storm, or things are slowing down now, or things are still now because the universe has taken you as far as it can. And now it's your turn to make a move. It's like the universe has brought you all the way up to the door, and now it's your turn to walk through it. Like you're waiting for the universe to respond. You're waiting for the universe to do something. But when you realize that this next step is in your hands, when you are meant to be the initiator of this next step, when you are meant to take an action, then you feel so empowered. Well, you could either feel very empowered or very scared if you're not ready to take this action, or you could feel a mix of both. But you know, with the lion here, with this energy of inspiration, I feel like there's so much emphasis on inspired action here. And I feel like there was a period of discomfort where there was a standstill and you guys didn't know what to do about it. And it was very uncomfortable to just wait for that inspiration. It was like there was a part of you that just wanted to do something just so you could feel like you were doing something, just so you could feel like you were making progress, just so you could feel like things were moving, but the inspiration wasn't there. Okay, this is a very silly example because I feel like it's kind of small scale compared to what you guys might be dealing with, but it's like, You know when you like someone, when you have a crush on someone and you want to talk to them just because you want to talk to them, or just because you want to make the relationship progress, or you want to feel like you're getting closer to them, but actually you don't have anything to say to them. So you're thinking of like, what could I say? Oh, maybe I'll text them this, maybe I'll text them that. And I feel like this is a lesson in waiting until you actually have something that you want to say, because you're not uncomfortable with the silence, because you're not uncomfortable with the waiting, because you trust that when the time is right to reach out and say something, you will know what to say, or you'll have something that you want to say. Maybe that example is just there because it's easy to understand, but there was this feeling of like, it will be time for you to take action when the inspiration comes. But until then, you must wait. And I feel like that waiting was very uncomfortable, because part of your ego is saying like, I want to make things move. I want to change things. I want to feel like I'm making progress. I want to feel like something is happening, even if it's not time yet. And so I think waiting for this moment to take the inspired action was tough for you, or it will be tough for you, and it will lead to some confusion. But this stillness that you guys are feeling, it's like the universe has taken you as far as it can. And now we wait. And now we wait for the inspiration. So I feel like this is an energy that you guys are dealing with. But I do think that this inspiration is coming by the end of the year, and you are being called to take your inspired action. You know what to do. You feel good about it. And you have that enthusiasm, like, this is it. This is what I meant to do. Let's go. So I want to tell you guys, when it's time for you to take action, you will know what it is and it will feel good. But until then, if you don't know what to do, then we wait, then we stand still. And I know that that can be frustrating, and we feel like we keep waiting for the universe to do something, to bring us more, but we wait. We wait until that inspiration comes. And I'm seeing for you guys that things will start to pick up, things will start to speed up again by the end of this year. With closure and Pluto here, I do feel that these are talking about some intense and immense transformation coming to your life. So if you guys are already in this stand still period, I want you to know that you will be coming out of it by the end of this year. You'll be taking an inspired action that causes your situation to accelerate, and finally this change, this transformation that you've been waiting for will be coming to you. Or if you're not in this standstill yet, then within the end of this year, you will enter into a standstill period, and then you will come out of it. And I feel like Leo season is important, or whenever the spring season is coming up next for you guys, even if it's not in 2022, I do feel that it's going to be very important. But yeah, this has definitely been a long journey for you guys. Like I said, for a lot of you, I do feel like it's been like years in the making. There's been a lot of hope. There's been a lot of ups and downs. But when we're dealing with Pluto energy, this is like groundbreaking shifts happening in your life, intense transformation happening in your life. So, wow, let's take a look at your tarot now. And so in this part of the reading, we're going to be looking at specific areas of your life. Okay, so the first thing that I want to look at is a card to represent you. So who you're becoming, how you've grown, how you're expressing yourself. We have the Four of Coins. A card to represent your home and your living situation. We have the Princess of Cups. This would be the Page of Cups. A card to represent your platonic relationships. We have the Seven of Swords. A card to represent your romantic relationships. We have the Ten of Wands. And to represent your career, your abundance, we have the Four of Swords. And then for your card at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. So I'm just going to drink some water. And let's get into these energies. So we're starting off here with the Four of Coins. This is representing you. The first thing that came to my mind with this card is the phrase, hold your vision. So I feel like by the end of this year, and this kind of ties into what we spoke about before, but you guys are becoming a lot more patient and you're becoming a lot more trusting in the process. Some of you guys might know that my own personal interpretation of the Four of Pentacles is having angels around you or having angelic guidance. And it's also a card that makes me think of the messages like you're on the right path, you are protected, everything is unfolding exactly as it should be. And I think this is a truth that you guys are really, I want to say cozying up to, that you're really getting comfortable with by the end of this year. I think you guys are learning true patience, and you're learning how to hold on to your vision, meaning that if there's something that you really, really want, you will not let go of it. This is like, I think tenacity might be the word, or perseverance, such that even when what you want is taking a lot of time, or even when things are unfolding differently than what you expected, you never let go of your will to manifest what you want, and you never let go of your faith that it's coming. So you're actually feeling a lot more empowered through this process, where you're like, I know if I want something, if I desire something, it's in my heart for a reason. It's in alignment with my highest good. I know that I have divine angelic support with me, and it's gonna come sooner or later. It's gonna come at some point. So that little bumps in the road or delays don't even shake you. You're like, I don't care. I still know what I want, and I still know that it's coming, and I'm gonna hold on to my vision. You see this person's face, I don't know, he just looks kind of like smug to me, or you know, he looks very satisfied with himself. I feel like nothing could shake you when you truly want someone, something, or someone, or you truly love something or someone. Like nothing could shake you. It's interesting too that this card, it has the green border, so it's associated with the heart chakra. And I do really feel that your heart's desires are very much in alignment with your soul's desires, and your heart's desires are very much in alignment with what your spiritual team is helping you to manifest. And I also think it's really interesting that we have butterflies in this card, because we had that Pluto energy. All of these cards here were making me think of some incredible transformation coming to your life. So I see patience in you guys, I see strength in you guys, I see a certainty of what's in your heart and what you truly desire. And yeah, it's unshakable, like unshakable will and unshakable faith and unshakable peace as well. Kind of on another topic, but the Four of Coins could also be indicating that you guys are becoming very good with money, because the Four of Pentacles, it can talk about saving money, or it can talk about making good business decisions. So I don't know if you guys are like studying about finances or investing or saving money or looking up different ways to make passive income, but I feel like another very different interpretation of this card could be that you guys are becoming good with money. So you could be starting to save up money in the rest of this year, or you could be making some investments as well. And also this could be like you guys are more just on top of your stuff. Like, you know, in your home, everything has a place and you know where everything is. You guys could be like simplifying your life as well, simplifying your living space, getting rid of things that you don't need. Because I definitely see you in a more like grounded and focused energy, and I see you guys living more, more intentionally. So moving on, we have the Princess of Cups for your home or living situation, or the Page of Cups, and we have another heart chakra card with the green border. The first thing that's coming to my mind with this is that you guys could have a little one in your home. So some of you guys might be welcoming a child into your home, or maybe a family or friend of yours has a child and they're going to be coming over. This could also be a fur baby. This could also be, or a scaly baby, you know, like a reptile or a fish, or a feathered baby. But yeah, a non-human, a non-human animal that is entering your home. You know, the Page of Cups is a very innocent and pure and childlike energy. So if this is not a child, it could also be like having an animal companion in your home, or maybe you're like pet sitting for somebody who's going away, so you have a pet in your home for a while. But I feel like there's something in your home that you want to nurture, or something in your home that is bringing this kind of sweet and innocent and pure energy. I guess it could also be plants. Like I have a bonsai tree and I have cactuses, and they're like my babies as well, and I like taking care of them, and I feel like I'm not alone when I have them in my home. They feel like my friends. For some of you guys, maybe this is a little bit of a broader interpretation, but I feel like for some of you guys, this could be indicating bringing some kind of art into your home, or bringing some kind of musical instrument into your home, because the Page of Cups is also about creativity, and it reminds us to have fun. It reminds us to not take life so seriously. So you could be bringing some art into your home that maybe it doesn't necessarily go with the rest of the house, but it makes you happy when you look at it. It's cute. I have some things like that in my house as well, that they're just silly, they're just cute, and they put a smile on my face when I look at them. Maybe you're putting up some cute or funny pictures in your home, just to make you laugh. Or like I said, it could be a musical instrument, like maybe you're getting yourself, I don't know, like a piano, a keyboard, or it can be anything, but something that brings art into your home, something that brings smiles into your home as well. The Page of Cups, it also has a nice like new and fresh feeling to it as well. So like we mentioned before with the Four of Coins, you guys could be minimalizing or simplifying your home, getting rid of things that you don't need, or you could be sprucing it up in some way. You know, this is like a new and exciting energy, so maybe you're going to be like repainting your home, or moving the furniture around in some way, doing some sort of renovation or remodeling. And I feel like there's a more artistic vibe that is coming to your home. So, you know, the focus is not just on like functionality or practicality, but we're going for an aesthetic that we really like. We're going for something that is fun and fresh. Maybe you're gonna put like a really bright accent wall in your house or something like that, or like I said, put some funky art in there. But yeah, the home environment is fun and fresh and refreshed. I can put it that way. So moving on, here we have the Seven of Swords, and this is indicative of your platonic relationships, and this card is associated with the crown chakra. So I do believe that in the rest of this year, your psychic abilities are going to be heightening, or you're just going to feel a lot more in alignment with your higher self. Like we mentioned before, you're definitely stepping into an energy where your desires and your actions are in alignment with your highest good. And so this Seven of Swords card seems to be indicating that there's a couple different ways I could interpret it. One is that you guys might be identifying some relationships in your life that you've been interacting with in some kind of persona, or that you haven't been able to be completely genuine. Like, you know how there's some acquaintances in our life that we just match their energy, or like a certain version of ourselves comes out when we're with that person, but it's not who we truly are. This could be something that's kind of coming up in the rest of this year, where you look at the relationships in your life and you're like, yeah, I'm not really my real self when I'm around that person. Or, you know, I've been putting on kind of a persona when I interact with that person. But it could also be the flip way, the reverse, whatever, the other way, where you're noticing that there are some acquaintances, colleagues, or even friends in your life who, if I put it bluntly, could just be kind of fake, or things are very surface level when you interact with that person, or they could straight up be, like they're being deceptive or they're being fake in some way. For some of you guys, you might even find out that someone in your life like hid something pretty significant from you, like a friend or a family member or somebody you work with. But really, I think that this energy is just showing that these kind of things are being exposed. These kind of inauthentic behaviors or inauthentic personas are being exposed, because we do have the full moon here, which is all about, things being brought to light, things being fully brought to your attention, so that they can be transformed, or so that they can be released. And I am not really feeling that you're being urged to go one way or the other about it. Like, when you discover that maybe this relationship is kind of superficial, this relationship is kind of surface level, or this relationship is kind of inauthentic, you could take the path of, okay, let's make effort to be more genuine together. Let's make effort to open up. Let's have an honest conversation and get to know each other truly. Or you might just say, this relationship is not really for me. I don't like the side of me that this person brings out, or I don't like the side of this person that they show around me. You might decide that it's not really worth investing into that relationship or trying to change it, and you just might want to cut off that relationship. Like I said, I don't feel called to urge you guys to go either way. And I do think that it will be really up to you, but I think that there will be some, relationships like that are being brought to your attention. Like, this is not really feeling genuine anymore. It could be that, you have grown a lot and other people have not grown at the same rate as you, or like someone else's life has changed a lot and gone kind of that way, and you're over here doing your own thing, and you might just find that you don't really resonate deeply with each other anymore. So when you do meet up, it's like the conversation is awkward, or you're just talking about like superficial stuff and it just doesn't feel genuine anymore. But yeah, it's that kind of vibe, and what you do about those truths will be up to you. But it's just letting you know that this kind of energy is ahead. And maybe this is something that you guys have already been feeling from someone in your life, or from several people in your life. But this could be indicating that as you continue to evolve spiritually, and as your psychic abilities continue to heighten, it will be something that you feel more and more. And that is harder and harder to ignore. So moving on, now we have the card that is representing your love life or your romantic love, and we have the 10 of Wands. And I think it's very interesting that this card is related to the solar plexus, and we also have the Waking the Lion card, which is related to the solar plexus. So perhaps these two energies are linked in some way. The Waking the Lion card was talking about taking inspired action. So maybe this is encouraging you guys to take action towards a certain romantic connection in your life by the end of this year. So the 10 of Wands is a card that talks about kind of carrying a heavy weight, or carrying a kind of heavy burden. And there's a couple different ways I could interpret that. For one, some of you guys might be carrying this weight that there is something you really, really want to tell somebody, but you feel like you can't because you're afraid, or for some reason you feel like you have to carry this by your own. It could also be that you don't want to burden that person with what you have to say, and so you're just keeping it to yourself. But that's definitely a feeling of the 10 of Wands. It could also be a connection in which you have been, putting in a lot of the effort and it doesn't really feel reciprocated. Sometimes the 10 of Wands can talk about these kind of one-sided connections. So whatever the case is, I feel like romantically you might be in a situation that is not very satisfying, because you're either, you want to say something, you want to express how you feel, but you're holding it back, or you feel like maybe you're putting in all the effort, or you're carrying all the weight, or something like that. So it looks like kind of a tough situation, and I think that you are being encouraged to take action regarding this matter by the end of this year, to be confident and to go for it. And the number 10, it's making me think of like an all or nothing kind of vibe. So, you know, let's say you guys have been involved with somebody who is giving you mixed signals, or like sometimes they're quite distant with you, and then other times they're being nice to you and you don't know where they stand. But maybe you're afraid of addressing that because this kind of halfway energy that they're giving you is better than nothing. And it's like a part of you would rather keep things this way with the hope that things could get better in the future, rather than say something now and potentially ruin it. But I feel like you guys are being encouraged with this solar plexus energy, which is about asserting yourself, expressing yourself, empowering yourself, to just lay all of your cards out on the table and be very honest with someone. So whether this is like your love interest, your partner, your spouse, to say like, look, this is how I'm feeling about the situation. I've been holding this in, but this is what I really want to express to you. Or I feel like I'm carrying a lot of the weight here. I feel like I want more reciprocation in this area. To put all of that out there and understand that even if you get the negative answer, or you get the answer that you weren't hoping for, at least you know, and then at least you can make the decision that is right for you, whether you want to stay in this situation or move on. But when you're not saying anything and you're facilitating and keeping this vague dynamic, or keeping things up in the air, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because you're withholding information from yourself that would allow you to be free, and that would allow you to make a decision that is right for you. So, you know, even if you get the negative answer, then at least you can move on and open yourself up to something that you're more deserving of, or something that is better suited for you. And it's interesting because I feel like in both of these situations, in the platonic situation or the romantic situation, I'm not actually being shown what way this will go. And I definitely feel like, at least in this romantic situation, it's not being shown which way this will go, because with the solar plexus, it's like you have the power to get this information. You have the power to find out by taking action, by speaking up, by asserting yourself, by asserting the feelings that you want to express, or what you want to know from this person. And then with that information, you will know what the next step is. But in any case, I do feel that, you know, empowering yourself and putting all your cards out on the table is going to lead to a huge transformation in your life. Now, moving on, we have the Four of Swords for your career, for your abundance, and this is also associated with the heart chakra, and this is actually giving me very nice vibes, because the Four of Swords talks about rest. As you can see, this person is sleeping, so I do feel that in the rest of this year, you guys are going to get a much needed break from work or from school, and I do feel like this is kind of a significantly long break. And with this heart chakra, if you guys are doing something that you love for work, then I feel like this is indicating that through this break, you'll come back recharged, and you will come back with your love for what you do rekindled. So if you guys had felt like you're kind of losing motivation towards your work, or you're losing that spark, I think that what you really needed was a break. What you really needed was a chance to relax your mind, because swords talk about our mind, about our thoughts. I feel like you were mentally drained, you were mentally exhausted, you were using your brain so much, and you just need some time to let go and relax. Take some time away from what you do so that you can fall in love with it again. It's like an absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of situation, and you will come back to work completely renewed with your passion and with your enthusiasm. For those of you who are not so fulfilled with what you do, like it's just your way to make money, it's just your way to create security for yourself, which is totally fine as well, then I feel like this heart chakra energy is indicating that when you get this break, this will allow you time to do the things that you really love, you know, to do the activities that you love, or to spend time with people that you love, maybe to spend time with your children or your fur babies or whatever it might be, with your friends. This is a time for your mind and your heart to be recharged and to be replenished. Also, for those of you who have important decisions to make regarding your career or your studies, whether it's like how to solve a problem at work or what to do with your career path, no matter how big or small it might be, I feel like the Four of Swords could be indicating, first of all, with this heart chakra border, that you should make your decisions with your heart. So you should follow your heart or follow what your emotions tell you is the right thing to do. But also with this person sleeping, I feel like this could be indicating that you would receive the answer while you are dreaming. So while you are asleep, or while you're in a state of rest. So while you're not necessarily actively looking for the answer or the solutions, but when your mind is in a state of rest, this answer will come to you. So there's no need to make these decisions right away, because often the Four of Swords is encouraging us to sleep on it, you know, to just let it go, to take a period of inaction and sleep on it, and then the solutions will come to you. With this bottom of the deck energy, the King of Swords, I really do feel that this is representing you. Now that we've been through all of these cards, I really, really feel like the King of Swords is representing you guys. With the High Priestess in reverse also behind it, I feel like you guys tend to doubt your intuition, or you tend to doubt your psychic abilities. It could be, you know, with the King of Swords in front of the High Priestess, it could be that you guys are very analytical people, you're very logical people, or you have a mind that is very active, and that can get in the way sometimes, such that even if you did have an intuitive hit or a download, it's like your mind wants to rush in and analyze it 4 million times and pick it apart and, you know, second guess. I feel like your mind could cause a lot of doubts, like you guys could tend to be overthinkers. But if you learn how to control this mind, and if you learn how to focus it properly, I feel like your mind will become your best friend, because your logic and your spiritual intuition can go hand in hand. They can complement each other. You can use your mind to make sense of the downloads that you receive. You can use your mind to validate, I think is the word that I'm looking for. Yeah, to validate or to affirm the downloads that you receive. You can use even your mind to talk yourself out of overthinking, or to teach yourself that overthinking and worrying is not helpful. So depending, it's like your mind is this weapon, and depending on how you use it, it can be your best friend or it can be your enemy. And so maybe another thing that's happening for you guys by the end of this year is that you're really learning how to use your mind to your greatest advantage, and really learning how to make your mind your best friend. But I also think that this King of Swords is reaffirming to you that you really have the executive power in these situations. You're the king, you're the boss, and you have the power to discern what you will do in these situations, in your platonic relationships, in your love life, in your career. You're the one who holds the sword. You're the one who gets to make the decision, and you have the power, and you have what it takes to make the right decision for you, because you're blessed with this intuition. And we even have the crown chakra here, which indicates your psychic ability. This combination of like purple and yellow, crown chakra and solar plexus, I feel like it's asking you to have confidence in your psychic abilities, to believe in your psychic abilities, and also to believe in your heart, that what your heart desires is in alignment, like we mentioned before, with what your soul desires and what is truly best for you. So what are we doing next? We are going to look at some cards from my homemade deck and see what else is coming to you guys in the rest of 2022. We have healing. We have viral. So what I had in mind when I when I wrote down this card is literally like something that you're doing is going viral. It could literally be that you're going viral like on social media or something. One of your posts does really well, or this could be like your business is starting to do really well. But it could also be that people are talking about you. So you're doing something that is standing out and people are talking about you. We also have, we have protection, and it's a surprise. I feel like this is you guys making peace with the unknowns in your life, because you know that at the end of the day, you're going to be protected. It's like what we were talking about with the Four of Pentacles. At the end of the day, you know that you're on the right path. You know that you're protected. You know that you're exactly where you need to be. And so, you know, something being a surprise doesn't scare you anymore. And you can see this is an unknown that is playful. This is an unknown that is loving, that's a little bit cheeky. And it's almost as if you guys are understanding that anything that your angels aren't telling you, anything that your spiritual team isn't telling you, there is something in it that is meant to be a surprise. So as long as you trust them to plan these moments for you, to plan these surprises for you, and you know that you're in good hands, then you're good, then everything is going to be okay. So I think it's no mistake that these two came out together. Like when you don't know what's going to happen, as long as you know that you're protected, then you're going to be good. So yeah, this is definitely speaking to the inner strength that is coming to you guys, and I definitely feel like there's a lot of healing that is coming for you in the rest of the year. Viral is the one that I'm a little bit like, ooh, what's that about? I'm not exactly sure, but the intention that I had when I made that card is either like your post is doing well, your social media is doing well, your business is doing well, or for some reason you're like the talk of the town, like people are talking about you. Maybe, you know, we were talking about some platonic relationships that might be kind of brought to your attention. Maybe you just noticed that there's some platonic relationships in your life, like friends or colleagues, where it's like the thing that you bond over is like talking about other people or gossiping, and you're like, that's not really me anymore. It could also be talking about something like that, because, you know, viral, it's like something is infectious, and I feel like sometimes talking about that kind of, you know, petty stuff or gossiping, it can be infectious even if that's not really you. So we have two more oracle cards to look at in this reading. I pulled these with the intention of them being like advice cards or just anything else that you need to know. So we have action, awaken the warrior woman within. I'm not surprised to see this at all, because there have been so many messages about you guys taking inspired action and asserting yourself. And look at this. Trust your intuition. Exactly. I couldn't think of two better cards to come out at the end for you guys. And it's funny that, you know, this card is, well, every card in the deck is like this, but it's interesting that this is a purple and gold deck, and then the colors that were really standing out for you guys were purple and yellow, like believing in your intuition, asserting your intuition, having confidence in your intuition, and taking action based on it. Yeah, what a perfect way to sum up the messages. So we're gonna finish off the reading now with some tea leaf fortune cards. What else does group number 2 need to know about the rest of 2022? We have cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control. So absolutely, you guys are protected. We have unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Exactly. Cup, you should accept valid criticism. Wedge, someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. It's interesting though that we have this message of protection from negative forces. So if there is someone that you're in competition with, like for example, if you and someone else are competing towards the same goal as work, or if there are some people who are talking about you behind their back, I feel like anything someone tries to do against you is going to backfire on them. So if someone was trying to bring you down in any way, they will get their karma. It will just like, what am I trying to say? It will just explode back in their face. and you will come out on top. We have Claw, be careful, do not take risks. And we have Well, family wishes come true. So I really think that your home life is going to be very, very happy. In terms of this Claw, do not take risks, I feel like this could be talking about your financial situation, because with the Four of Pentacles here, we saw that you guys are becoming more frugal, that you guys are becoming smarter with your money. And I thought that some of you guys might get into like investing or finding ways to make passive income or something like that. And so maybe the Claw is here to remind you to play it safe, and to focus on slow and steady gains rather than doing anything super impulsive or that's like big risk or big reward. And interestingly too, the Cup card with you should accept valid criticism. The King of Swords can sometimes talk about getting advice from a professional or like getting objective advice from somebody. So this could be referring to you guys receiving financial advice or professional advice as well. Or it could even be like maybe this reading had a little bit of constructive criticism as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks like basically what I want you guys to take away is that you're protected from negative forces. With that being said, make sure to not do anything too risky or too impulsive. Always check in with your intuition before you make any decisions or before you move forward. And your home and family life is going to be very, very happy. And I just like randomly cut the deck and vacation was at the bottom. So you guys are definitely getting some time off or some kind of rest period by the end of the year. So wow, that was a lot of different messages to pop out at the end of the reading, but those are all the messages I have for you guys. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2, I'm sending you guys so much love. I wish you an amazing rest of the year, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the pink Chalcedony and the Pastel Journey Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2022. So I'm going to set this aside for a second because we are going to start off with some oracle cards to get a feel for the main energies or the major events that you guys will be dealing with for the rest of the year. So let's take a look. We're starting off with Healing Chaos. Wow, it's so funny. This card has a tornado on it, and I don't know if you guys can hear, but the wind outside is like, whoo, like it's howling. We have You Are Supported. Seeing Beyond. Travel. Bring love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius. And Sagittarius, or in Sagittarius as it says on this deck. So this reading is about the rest of 2022. I definitely think Sagittarius season is going to be significant for you guys. So basically late November, let's say late November until the end of the year, because what I wanted to mention is that the new moon in Aquarius, I believe, is actually happening in the month of January. So I know that that's not technically in the rest of 2022, but I think that maybe what these timeframes are pointing at is that some kind of energy is going to start picking up for you guys around the end of the year. So around November, December. And then I think in January, there might be some kind of like climax or some kind of peak of this energy. or that window between November and January is going to be significant for you guys. But it's really interesting that we have 2 cards indicative of travel, because we have literally travel here, and then we have Sagittarius energy, which is usually, or I should say is often associated with travel. So you guys, oh, and I should mention too, with Sagittarius type of travel, it's usually something more long distance. It's usually something more far away, something that's, you know, expanding your horizons, broadening your perspective. So it's kind of the feeling of going abroad. So I don't know if you guys have plans to go abroad by the end of this year. Maybe this is like a confirmation, or at the very least, maybe you're starting to make concrete plans to take a trip abroad, or possibly to move abroad as well. And it could be related to education, like some kind of international exchange, or maybe you're going to work in another country, or you know, with the Archer, with the Sagittarius Archer, he's also very ambitious and wants to keep moving up and being the best version he can be. So this can also be like you guys have a big dream, and like you're venturing out to the big city, or you're venturing out to a foreign land to make this dream come true. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting right off the bat. But I actually wanted to talk about this Healing Chaos card, which, as you guys maybe can still hear, the wind is howling outside, which might be an emphasis of this energy. But this is kind of a concept that I've become familiar with because I've seen it in my life over the past, I would say over the past year or so, that a lot of healing has happened just by like going through crap and just through living my life. I think that there's an opportunity for a lot of healing and a lot of releasing for you guys in the rest of this year. But it's this idea of like, this healing is not necessarily a result of you guys like actively sitting down and doing shadow work, or it's not necessarily the result of you like sitting down and saying, okay, what do I need to heal? Well, I have this insecurity, I have this wound, where did this come from? And like actively going back and analyzing and sitting there and trying to work through it. I feel like your healing experience is going to be more hands-on, and it's going to be more messy, and it's almost like the healing is happening all around you without you even noticing, because the universe has your back, because you are supported, and the universe knows what experiences to bring you so that you can face your fears, or so that you can heal your wounds. So it's like you maybe weren't even trying to heal, or you had the intention that you wanted to, but without actively doing that kind of healing work and saying like, what do I need to do to heal? Life just happened to you in such a way that your fears were brought up, or that your insecurities were brought up, or that your wounds were brought up so that they could be released. And I'm hearing a perfect storm, you know, like life created a perfect storm for you so that you could heal, so that you could face your fears and release your limiting beliefs. It's almost as if your spiritual team, yeah, with this seeing beyond, it's like your spiritual team or some advanced beings is how I'm hearing it. It's like they came in to remove some programs. It's like they deleted some old programs off of your hard drive so that they could give you like, it's like a software update, like an energetic upgrade. So these old programs of fear, these old programs of holding yourself back, these old programs of, you know, staying in what would you call it? Inhibited, I think is the word. An inhibited energy, a sad energy, an unmotivated energy, a scared energy, an insecure energy. It's like we're deleting all of these programs, and you're going through some sort of energetic upgrade. It's not like without you doing anything, but without you actively having to try to do it. Your life is being orchestrated so that you go through these healing journeys. It's really interesting that we have 36 here, which adds up to 9, because this is a number that I associate, or that is about healing and ascending and leveling up. So we definitely have this energy going on here. And in fact, with 36 here adding up to 9, you guys might be seeing like 369 or 333 or 69 or 963, or any variation of those numbers repeating or in some kind of sequence. And I think it's like higher forms of intelligence are communicating with you guys. And this is a card that is related to the third eye chakra. So you guys might be sensitive to energies coming in from higher realms, entities coming in from higher realms. Aquarius energy tends to remind me of like ET energy for whatever reason, or like star family energy. So you guys could be in contact, and I know this might sound kind of out there for some of you, but you could be in contact with extraterrestrials, or you could be in contact with your star family who is guiding you. And in fact, your star family could be here on Earth and like their higher selves are guiding you. But I feel like you're going through this healing process and you're going through this kind of upgrade, because pretty soon you're going to be called to step up to a new chapter of your journey. And I think this is one that involves you traveling. It involves you going after some kind of big goal. With this seeing beyond and with this third eye, if you haven't already, you guys might find yourselves really, really drawn to a particular place, or particular people, or particular groups of people that you can't really explain why. It's like you just know. You just know you need to move in this direction. You just know that you need to get into this field of work, or live in this place, or work with these people, or be involved with these people. It's something beyond your five senses that is telling you. It's like a download that you have received. So even if at the time that you're watching this video, you don't really have any plans to change up your life or to go anywhere else, I feel like by the end of this year, you could be hit with some really strong travel bug, or be hit with this familiar feeling of a place or person, even if you haven't met them in this lifetime, or you haven't been to a certain place in this lifetime. You know, something in your soul is just calling you in that direction. And I think it's really interesting that we have bring love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius. I do think this is, oh my God, that wind. I do think this is talking about like a love that is being stirred up in your heart. But also, what I tend to remark about this card, or the Aquarius cards of this deck, is that this person is nude. So it's like being honest, exposing your true self. And then also she's pouring out the water. And you know, water represents our emotions, how we're truly feeling on the inside. So it's almost like this is asking you to just bear it all. And when you start to feel this love bubbling up, or when you start to feel this deep longing or this deep familiarity bubbling up, I think that this card is asking you to acknowledge it and asking you to validate it, rather than trying to dismiss it or trying to overanalyze it. Of course, you can analyze it a little bit. You can ask questions about it. Why is this feeling here? But let those emotions pour out, because within those emotions lies the truth. I'm like, that wind is so freaking strong. Like, the wind blows sometimes, and I think that you can hear it in my reading sometimes, but it's really standing out to me today, and it was not doing that for group 1 or group 2. I should mention that. It's just for your group. So I'm also thinking of, like, we talk about the winds of change, right? So big changes are coming for you guys, or, you know, you're in this boat and the wind is coming to blow your sails in a certain direction. You know, the moons that we have in this spread, we have a new moon and then we have a waxing moon. So you're at the beginning of something. You're at the precipice of a new journey that is just starting to reveal itself to you. And I feel like you guys are kind of just like along for the ride, but you just need to know that you're supported. Okay, so let's get into your tarot now. Actually, is there anything I want to read here? Insights to understand wisdom resulting from the understanding, your highest ideals, get it out to the world. These are just fragments of sentences. You're supposed to line them up together, but I felt like just using them individually for this reading. But you're venturing out in some way. You're expanding your horizons in some way. This is giving me the feeling of like what you're looking for is looking for you, because these archers are forming like mirroring images. They're forming like a yin-yang looking image. What you're looking for is looking for you. So, you know, what's calling out to your soul? you are calling out to its soul, or you are calling out to their soul. So let's take a look at your tarot now. We're gonna get into the specific areas of your life for the rest of the year. So we're starting off with the card to represent yourself. Who you are, how you're growing, how you're changing. For group number 3, what is the card to represent their self? It's taking a while to come out. The cards are taking a while to come out, and I'm hearing something like, it's like the version of you that is emerging, you haven't met this person yet. I think you're undergoing huge changes. It's like a new and improved version of you that is emerging, that is very different. Oh my gosh, we have the 4 of Wands. Okay, and a card to represent your home or your living situation. The King of Wands. A card to represent your platonic relationships. The 6 of Wands. Okay, there's a lot of fire energy going on here. A card to represent your romantic relationships. We have the 9 of Swords. And a card to represent your career, your abundance, the pursuit of your goals. We have the 8 of Wands. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. I personally think that the King of Wands and the King of Swords in this deck are super hot. They're like my favorite. Also the Queen of Cups. But anyway, this is like all fire and air energy, mostly fire. So, oh, and even here, fire, Sagittarius is fire and Aquarius is air. So yeah, fire signs or air signs could be significant for you. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It could also be indicating that the winter and spring seasons coming up are going to be important for you, because swords can refer to winter and wands can refer to spring, which is interesting because we had like the end of the year, beginning of next year is going to be significant, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, that would be winter and spring. But yeah, we have 4 of Wands represents Venus in Aries, 6 of Wands represents Jupiter in Leo, I think. And those are the only ones I know. But anyway, let's get into the meanings of these cards. And actually, I just noticed that group number 2 also had King of Swords as their bottom of the deck energy. I feel like plans are changing for you guys. You had this idea that your life was going to go one way, and now plans are changing. And it's either because a new passion is calling out to you, or because you cannot ignore your passion anymore. Like you had planned your life around, you know, going the safe way, or you'd planned your life around, yeah, like playing it safe or doing what was expected of you. But this passion, this calling is becoming too hard to ignore. And so now you have to change your plans. Yeah, or like a brand new passion is coming up and, oh, we got to change the course of our life now. I will also say that the suits of Swords and Wands are the fast moving ones. So this could be a period from now until the end of the year where things are changing really, really quickly for you, where you're healing and letting go of things really quickly. Even things that you've been working on for years, you know, fears, insecurities, heartbreaks that you've been trying to get over for years. I feel like within the next few months, you're just going to be releasing things left, right, and center. You're going to be evolving very quickly. And I think you're really going to be surprising yourself with the person that you're becoming. And what I see first and foremost with the 4 of Wands here is that one big thing that's really changing about you guys is that like default, like your emotional baseline is becoming happiness and excitement. And maybe for some of you that's something that you didn't think was possible for you, or that you didn't think was realistic. You thought like, at best I can just tolerate my life, or at best I can just feel okay, maybe even content with the way things are. But what I see with the Four of Wands is that yes, your baseline is going to be being very happy about the way your life is. The Four of Wands is a card that makes me think of destiny as well as wish fulfillment. So you're definitely lining up with your destiny here, which, I mean, I could have told you that before. I could tell that that was what was happening. A perfect storm was coming to align you with your destiny. But this is how you're changing. You're becoming a lot happier. I think you're becoming a lot more carefree. Your wishes are coming true. Things are moving quickly for you. It's like you're in the flow. You're in the flow. You're in the zone. The Four of Wands can also talk about a union coming into your life. You can see these two people are coming together. I feel like there's a very significant soul union that is coming to you. Romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter, but I feel like there's a special someone coming into your life that is really going to bring out the best in you, and the experiences that you have with them, or like the way they change your life, it's really going to change you as a person. They're going to have a really, really positive impact in your life. Just moving on quickly to your living situation. I thought I heard a siren coming, but maybe it's going in a different direction, but I will keep my ears peeled. I wanted to move on and talk about your living situation because the Four of Wands can talk about a happy home life or a happy domestic life. So maybe one of the changes that you guys are going through is that you're going to be living with this special person, this person that you're coming into union with, like living in the same house as them, or in the same city as them, or in the same country as them, just living closer to them. And I do feel that for many of you, some kind of relocation is in the cards, like with travel and with Sagittarius, or you're making serious plans to relocate. And it's definitely, with this Four of Wands and King of Wands, it's definitely because you are pursuing some sort of passion. The King of Wands, I just feel, is someone who is so full of passion, who wants to be creative in his life, who wants to be a leader in his life, who wants to be free, who wants to be independent, maybe go against the grain a little bit, and really wants to go big. There's a big dream that is lighting you guys up. And I think for many it will be like related to creativity, related to the arts, or maybe related to languages and communications and media with the swords energy here. But you guys are wanting to express yourself, and you guys are wanting to be seen. And I'll get into that in a second with the, it's like they all kind of tie together. I'll get into that with the Six of Wands in just a moment as well. But if you guys are relocating, I feel like it's not just like, oh, I feel like moving. It's like you're really being called somewhere because you feel like this is the place where your dreams can come true, or this is where your dream job is, or like the people that you want to collaborate with are here, or something like that. And I wanted to say with the King of Wands as well, while I definitely think some of you could be living with someone that you really care about, living with someone that you love, for others of you, you might be moving out to live in your own place, and you're feeling really independent and you're feeling really empowered about that. Like, for example, you used to live with your parents or your family, or you used to live with roommates, and now you have a place that is completely your own, and you can decorate it however you want, and you can make noise whenever you want, and you can go out or come home whenever you want, and you don't have to answer to anybody, and you can organize things however you want. It's like the King of Wands very much has that energy of like, I'm just doing me, I'm doing my own thing, I'm doing this for myself. And so I feel like your living situation is really going to allow for that. The cars are being really noisy too. Maybe some of you guys are getting a car, which is really going to give you freedom to go wherever you want. But even if you are living with somebody, I feel like your compatibility is so good that you'll probably feel like this anyway. You'll feel like this King of Wands anyway. Like, we just have the same taste in how we want to decorate and how we want to organize things, and we have the same schedules of when we like to go out and when we like to sleep. So it just works together so seamlessly that it's as comfortable as if you were living alone. And if you guys are introverts, like, you will know how appreciated this is when you meet someone who being with them is the same level of comfort and the same level of ease as being alone. I feel like that is so freaking rare, but it's so special. So I see you guys either even living alone or living with someone with whom you're so compatible that it's just as if you were living alone. But yeah, I think, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I think that this next chapter of your life is one where you're really getting to know yourself, and who you truly authentically are. Like, you're really allowing your true colors to shine through. So moving on, we have the Six of Wands to represent your platonic relationships, which is very interesting. The first thing that came to my mind with this is that you guys are going to be surrounded by people who sort of have like a higher status. So they could be public figures, they could be influencers, they could even be, like, for some of you guys, these are people who are like reaching celebrity status, or they're just very well known or very highly respected in the circles that they are in. And so for you guys to be surrounded with these kind of people is making me think that your status is going to be elevated as well, or your level of success is going to be elevated as well, because you're in the circles where you can be networking with these kinds of people. The Six of Wands represents people who like have a lot of admirers, or who are in the public eye, or who are very successful. It can also talk about leaders. So these could be people who like have their own businesses, or they're leaders in the sense of like they're trendsetters. So people aspire to be like them. People follow what they do. There might be people who are trying to emulate them. Like, these are the trendsetters. These are the blueprints. These are the people who are highly successful, and I feel like you guys are going to be in these circles, and I feel like you guys might be talked about a little bit, or you guys might be watched a little bit, like, oh, do you see group 3 is hanging out with this person, or like, do you think group 3 is close with XYZ? It's like you're starting to get into the circles, you're starting to get into the mix. But what I really like about this for you guys is that the people who are surrounding you are people who really inspire you to do better, inspire you to be better. Like, they motivate you to reach your success and to reach your goals. So they kind of keep you accountable to yourself, even if it's not like they're directly telling you to go and work hard and achieve your goals. Just being around them and just having that influence in your life, I think is going to be really, really positive for you. And you know, with all of this wands, we see so much passion coming from you guys. We see so much inspiration coming from you guys. You guys are really in a whole new world. Like, things are feeling so vivid for you. And I want to tell you, like, even if what I'm describing here sounds very different from your current life, that's just it. Like, all of these cards indicate very fast movement and very fast change. So I know it might be a little bit difficult. Like, if this doesn't really sound like the life that you're living right now, it could be difficult to envision yourself in this place by the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. But I'm telling you, things are going to change very, very quickly. You have that divine support. You have, imagine like a tornado just whoosh, like lifts you up and transports you somewhere else. Like, if you from the future, like if you from 6 months from now came back and told you what they were doing and where they are and who they're hanging out with, you'd be like, what the, like, you'd be like, shut your mouth, you're lying. It's just such a drastic change for you guys. So let's move on now to your love life, which is represented by the Nine of Swords. I think it's interesting that the person is sleeping in this card. Normally we would see them, you know, like they're having a sleepless night and they have their head in their hands and they're like, oh no, woe is me, and they're worrying. I still do believe that this card is to be interpreted as like excessive worrying or anxiety about something. And I think that the sleeping person is indicating that things might be a little bit slow in your love life, or things might be non-existent in your love life, at least until the end of this year. So that could be something that you guys are a little bit worried about. Like if you've been waiting for a particular person to come in, or if you've been waiting to meet someone, that could be the source of worries for you. You might be wondering like, oh, are they really coming? Am I really manifesting them? Or maybe you're thinking that like something has gone wrong. You were supposed to reach this level of your love life by this time or by this age or something like that. But I want to reassure you guys that everything is going to be okay. You're going through a lot of changes right now. You're going through a lot of transformations right now, and you're still evolving as a person. I feel like you're upgrading, like I said. And 9, like I mentioned before, it makes me think of upgrading. It makes me think of awakening. You're upgrading to like a new version of yourself. And I think that once you step into this new version of yourself, you're either gonna want different things from your partner, or you might even reach a place where you don't really care when or how this partner comes in, or you don't feel like such a strong longing anymore, because you're like, I'm living my best life. I'm doing everything that I want to do. And it's not that you're not interested in love anymore, or it's not that you don't want that person anymore, but you might just want different things from your relationship. Like maybe before you had certain expectations of like what you wanted the relationship to be like, or how often you wanted to see your person, or what you wanted to do with them, or you had these kinds of expectations. And as you evolve and as you heal, those things might change. So I feel like maybe Spirit's kind of waiting for the dust to settle, so to speak, waiting for you to get settled in your new life and get clear on what kind of relationship you really want to have with your person, or just wait until you're like situated and you know what you're doing and you know where you are. You know, it's a kind of turbulent time where things are moving really, really fast. And it might just not be the optimal time to bring in new love or to bring your relationship to the next level. So yeah, you could be a little bit worried that that area of your life is kind of stagnant, but I really feel that there's nothing to worry about. And if I had to guess, you're probably going to see movement in your love life around next year, even the beginning of next year, because we do have, and it says bring love. Yeah, bring love into the situation. We have this emphasis on the month of January, or like early next year. So just because nothing's happening, or there's not a lot of significant developments within this year, that's totally fine. So moving on now to your career, your abundance, the pursuit of your goals, we have the 8 of Wands. This is talking about things, I'm not even surprised, things manifesting into your life very, very quickly and having a lot going on at once. So for those of you who have like professional goals, creative goals, educational goals, I feel like everything is going to be falling into your lap at the same time. And it could be a little bit overwhelming. I feel like for a while you could be quite busy. You have a lot to manage. I mean, you also have some amazing unions coming in. So I feel like you're going to be busy with your social life as well. Busy meeting new people and making new friends, and then handling your new responsibilities and handling your newfound success. It's like everything you wanted in terms of your abundance, in terms of your projects, is like all just falling in at the same time. So make sure that you rest well, and as much as it is in your power, try to take things one piece at a time, one day at a time. Because yeah, this is an energy where you can get overwhelmed. But I will say that the 8 of Wands, it generally gives me a feeling of like positive stress, you know, like I would rather have all of this going on and be a little bit stressed than not have this going on. I wouldn't trade these manifestations for the world. I would not trade in these blessings. I will gladly learn how to juggle everything. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. But yeah, social life, professional life, creatively, education, if you're a student, I feel like everything is just flourishing, everything's thriving. It might take some time for you to learn how to balance everything, because you also, you know, you want time for yourself and you want time to rest. So learning time management, I think, is going to be really, really beneficial for you guys. But it could be something that you just learn along the way. You know, you'll learn how to manage your schedule through trial and error. Maybe we're gonna have some burnouts or some very tired days here and there, but I think that you will learn it along the way. And I also think that you're in good hands. Like, you have a very good support system, who's, you know, been where you are and who can help you out along the way. So yes, okay, let's look at my homemade deck now. I'm just gonna, here we go. Oh, look! Underneath, we had the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is representing, this is like your romantic partner who's coming in. And it's interesting that we have the Five of Cups in reverse underneath that, because it's like you guys might be thinking that, I feel like you guys are thinking that this person is not coming in, or you're feeling like it's too good to be true or something like that. But we have the Two Cups right behind you, and I feel like this person is coming in when you least expect it, or they're coming in a way where you least expect it. And I do think that this person is going to be reaching out to you first. I think that what Spirit might be doing by the end of this year is, like, if you haven't met this person yet, they might be like getting you in the right place, getting you in the right circles, you know, getting you in the right arena, in the right ballpark, so that this person can find you with ease. And I think that they're going to be reaching out to you first, and it's going to be very surprising to you. Like, I don't know, like, how did you get my information, or like, how did you find out who I am, or how did you find me? It's going to be very shocking like that. But if this person is already in your life, I do think that the way they, I want to say propose, the way they propose moving things to the next level, I think it will kind of shock you. It will come when you least expect it. It will come when you're focused on other things. But let's take a look at our homemade deck. Ooh, we have Destiny. I'm just gonna plop that right here. And let's keep going. Yeah, you guys are definitely aligned with your destiny. We also have following, so you guys are gaining some sort of following. Maybe this person is gonna, maybe like one day you notice that like this person is following you, and then they end up being the person that you're gonna be with. We also have truth. Yeah, you guys are discovering the truth of who you are. Your following could also really admire that you speak your truth and that you live your truth, that you're a breath of fresh air. And we have news. Destiny, following, truth, news. Be open to unexpected news. We also have at the bottom, you are ready. You're ready for a new chapter in your life. So let's take a look at these last two oracle cards. Actually, they're not the last ones, because we're going to do tea leaf cards as well. But my intention with these cards was for them to be like advice cards or anything else that you guys need to know. So we have, you are safe. The universe has your back. You are supported, you are protected, even as you're going through this storm. And we have, you are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. You know, just going back to this love life message, as you start to evolve, this could be something that you guys really feel to be true. And again, there was that emphasis on, it doesn't mean that you stop having feelings for someone or you stop wanting someone in your life, or, you know, we all need some kind of companionship in our life because we're humans, we're social, and we like relationships and we like connection. So this is not about saying like, I don't need anyone in my life, I can be alone forever, but it's about getting rid of that sense of urgency or that sense of desperation or that sense of worry when someone isn't here yet. And knowing that we're safe, knowing that we're whole, and that everything will come to us at the right time. And I know that might sound very cliche, but I think that this is something that you guys are really coming to embrace and really coming to understand as you go through your evolution. And it's really interesting. Both of these images are quite similar. We see you enveloped in this beautiful starry, what would you call that? It's like the stars are giving you a hug. The stars are enveloping around you and keeping you safe. I feel like you guys have a star family out there who is always watching over you. Some who are not incarnate and some who are, and their higher selves are protecting you. So we are going to, which ones do I want to take? I'm just taking a random chunk. Because this deck is too fat, you cannot shuffle the whole thing. So let's take a look at our tea leaf cards and see what else you guys need to know about the rest of this year. What else? Let's take a few more. This is too little. There we go. What else does group number 3 need to know about the rest of 2022? I feel like this reading was simultaneously, it was like rest of 2022 and 2023. Ooh, tankard. I don't think have I seen this one before? Celebration, fun, enjoyment. There could be like a party that's really significant. Some kind of get together, some kind of celebration. Arrow, like the Sagittarius arrow. You are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Of course you are. You're in alignment with your destiny. You are ready. I also think this is like, you're following your truth. You're following your destiny. We have cracked cup, dissatisfaction with life. Shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. It's funny, if I put these together, I feel like it's talking about you should be careful about like retail therapy or emotional spending. Like when you're feeling sad or when you're feeling dissatisfied with life. Because, you know, cups are about emotions. So I was thinking like, don't get carried away with your emotions. Be careful. Or maybe like, I don't know, if you guys drink, you know, going out drinking can be very expensive. So, you know, if you're like dissatisfied with life or bored with life, let's say maybe you go clubbing and then you spend a lot of money. Or you buy a bunch of crystals. I'm gonna call myself out a bit. I'm not dissatisfied with my life though. I like shiny rocks. We have bear. Look, danger, especially in money matters. Bull, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Aren't these like the two things in the like stock, you know, the like you're a bear or you're a bull? Maybe some of you guys are like, I don't know anything about stocks. I just know that the bear and bull is like, one of them's a more aggressive one and one of them is the more passive one. I might even have that wrong. Okay, ooh, we also have target. So we have an arrow and a target, a goal-oriented person. And we have seahorse with family matters. I wonder with this don't back down from opposition, maybe this is talking about some of you guys having like opposition from family members, because we definitely see you guys going on a new path, embarking on a new adventure in your life. So for some of you, there could be like family members who are against your decision and, you know, you're This is encouraging you to stand up to them and be strong and believe in yourself. Maybe with this danger and money matters, because I feel like these either came out together or they came out right next to each other. Maybe there's some family members who are trying to tell you like this new path that you're going to embark on is not financially viable, or like it's not going to bring security or something like that. And you'll have to really, you know, because they could really get to your head, especially when it's family, people who's, at least in my experience, like people who's, and a lot of people, people whose opinions that you care about a lot, right? So it could be hard, especially to stand up to family and to keep believing in your dream. And I think if anything was maybe going to make you feel doubtful or make you second guess your path, it could be like familial opinions or the opinions from peers. So it's just a heads up. I think that this might be something that you guys have to stand up to, especially if you guys have Taurus relatives or Capricorn relatives. Seahorses make me think of Capricorn because they do have that like mermaidy tail. Taurus or Capricorn relatives could be particularly, you know, because they're the more practical type. So if you have this big creative dream or you're venturing off on this new adventure, they could be like, what? That's not that's not conservative, that's not cautious, what's going on? So yeah, just something to be aware of. And then I was aimlessly shuffling the deck, and at the bottom we got guaranteed success. So group number 3, those are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that or any of my other songs, my music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending you so much love. What an exciting journey that you guys have ahead of you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of 2022 and an amazing 2023, because there were like hints of early 2023 being significant as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Amber and the Oriens Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about the rest of 2022. So I actually just want to set this aside for a second, because we're going to start off this reading by taking a look at some oracle cards to get our first feel of the major events or the main energies that you guys might be dealing with in the rest of this year. So let's take a look and see what we have. We're starting off with release, stuck in a swamp. We have ears wide open with the number 33. That might be a significant number for you guys. We also have compassion. You're very close to achieving your goal with the gibbous moon. And Mars. Okay, so a couple things I want to mention about time frames that could be significant in the rest of this year, because we have the autumn tree here. The season of autumn could be significant. I know that not everybody who watches this video is going to have an autumn season in the rest of 2022. It will depend on where you live, but if you do have an autumn season coming up before the end of this year, that could be an important time. As well as with the gibbous moon, this is a card that makes me think about the very end of the year, because you see the moon is like just almost full, so it makes me think of like the last couple weeks or even the last few days of the year, like end of December could be significant for you guys. And also the trees around this card make me think of Christmas time, because they look like Christmas trees. So like, you know, last week of December kind of vibe. Something could be happening at the very end of this year. So looking at the energies of all of these cards together, I do feel like this is a more specific energy maybe compared to the other groups. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I just kind of got the feeling that as I start explaining this energy, you would probably know pretty quickly, like if you can relate to this or not. But what I'm seeing here is someone who has been ghosted or dropped by somebody, or like someone walked away from you with no explanation or with an explanation that was not very satisfactory. And it's coming to me like you could kind of call bullshit on their explanation. I will say that this could be in any sort of situation. It could be a love interest or a partner. It could have been a friendship, a family. It could have even been something professional. Like if you were in contact with a certain company or organization and then all of a sudden they backpedaled on their offer that they gave you, or they just, stopped replying to you. It's something like this. So it could be in many different situations, whether it's like personal or professional, romantic or platonic. But I still feel like it's a very specific occurrence, And the vibe that I'm sort of getting is that you were likely blindsided by what happened, because I think that from your perspective, everything was going well. So it was like, what happened here? I thought that we had something good going. I thought that you were happy or that you were excited about the future that we were talking about. And now all of a sudden you're saying that you're out, you're saying that you're walking away, or you're not saying anything. And I'm not hearing from you anymore. And so it kind of leaves you wondering, like, what changed and when did it change? Because all you could see from your perspective is everything's fine, everything's fine. It's like someone backed out at the last minute and you're left to wonder, how long were you really doubting this? How long were you really feeling this way? It's that kind of feeling. And, with release here, and then stuck in a swamp right next to it, I feel like you guys, it's like you were left with the aftermath of this. And I do think that you have been trying to move on. You've been trying to get over it, but you get stuck. It's like you can't let go. And for some of you, it might be that, you want this offer back, you want this person back, you want this partnership back. But for a lot of you, I feel like the thing that you can't let go of is like the why, even if deep down, that it's over and like, okay, maybe some of you are even like, I don't even want this anymore. Like, I'm okay with that. It's like you're hung up on what changed and when and why. It's like you're hung up on wanting to know the answers, even if it's like, it's not important and you can move on. I feel like you're stuck with those questions, and it's like you want that clarity, or you want that closure about like, what is it that changed? Did something happen on your end, or is it something that I did? And I feel like all of those unknowns are kind of frustrating. And in addition to this, with ears wide open and compassion, this is a card that is related to the throat chakra with this blue border here. So I feel like this is representing an energy of talking things through and hearing somebody out with compassion. And so I think one thing that also might frustrate you guys or even hurt you guys is like, if this person or organization or whatever it is, if they had just been honest with me, I would have understood, or I would have heard them out. We could have tried to work things out. So it's like, I don't understand why they felt the need to just go like complete radio silence, or why they felt the need to give me some bullshit reason that I know isn't true. Like, it's almost this feeling of like, did they not trust me to tell me the truth? Did they not think that I could handle it? Did they think that I wouldn't take it well? And I feel like that hurts. It's like, I wish that they trusted enough or cared enough to tell me the truth. And I wish that they knew I would have been compassionate with them and that I would have heard them out. So again, I feel like it's more of the unknowns that are still bothering you guys. And at the same time, I feel like this compassion card is also asking you to be more compassionate with yourself about your emotional processes, because I think it's normal to be hung up on these kinds of things, and it's normal to, you know, be sad about a rejection, or, you know, to dwell on a heartbreak for a long time. Maybe a lot of us don't talk about it because maybe it sounds like, maybe we think we sound weak to say like, this still bothers me, I still miss this person, or I still wonder what could have been. But I think that the way it's coming through is like how you feel. It's not as weird as you think, or it's more common than you might realize. And how you feel is completely natural, and it's completely understandable. And I think that, you know, you guys might have that one part of you that's very emotional, and the other part of you that's like, well, it doesn't matter because, you know, nothing's gonna come from this anyway, or like, it doesn't matter because you don't want this back anyway, so like, why can't you just let go of it? And it's like there's a part of you that's berating another part of yourself that still wants answers, or that is still hurting, or something like that. But what I actually think, you know, with this ears wide open, with this, you're very close to achieving your goal. I think you will actually be getting this closure, this clarity, the answers that you need very soon. And I think that the lesson you're meant to learn here is not like, oh, you just have to let go, you just have to not care. But actually the lesson that you're learning here is you deserve these answers. You deserve this clarity, and the universe can bring it to you. So I actually think for many of you, you will be hearing from this person or from this company or whatever it was, and they'll be a little bit more open with this. You know, 3 is the number of communication, and we have the throat chakra here, and, you know, this cute little I think this is this a fennec fox? Maybe. It doesn't matter. This cute little guy is ready to listen. And, you know, with Mars, I see someone taking action. We have confronting. So it's like, I think that we're going to address the situation. I think we're going to confront the situation, and you will be given that explanation that you're owed. I don't think you guys want an apology, although it might be nice if you get one, but I think it's like, you just want answers. You just want to know. You just want that clarity, and you should be allowed to get it. And I think that you will. And this is going to allow you to have the closure that you really need to move on. Because like I said, I feel like many of you, maybe it's like you're so close to moving on. You're so close to releasing this. You're so close to getting on with your life. But there's just this one unknown that is really bothering you, or just that unsettled feeling of like, how could they do this? Or why did they do this? And so they're coming back with some kind of communication with the number 3s here that is going to allow you to finally let go. It's like, okay, now I know what happened, and I can live with this, and I can move on. So I feel like that's the biggest major event that is coming to you guys by the end of this year. Yes, okay, that's all I have to say about this spread. So let's move on now to, could be also with the Mars energy here, an Aries person or a Scorpio person could be significant. Even if it's like an Aries or Scorpio moon, rising, Venus, could even be Mars actually. So in this next part of the reading, we're going to take a look at the specific areas of your life. I'm super happy to be using this deck. If you're, actually not even if you're new, I haven't used this in a very, very long time because I've been away from her when I was in Canada. So I feel like I might have not used this deck for almost a year. So this is a very special occasion. And I just love the, oh man, I remember there was like an argument in the comments about what this is called, whether it's like holographic or gilded or iridescent. And I don't remember what the consensus was, but I love the red color. I think it's so pretty. And also this deck is very sweet because it's all animals. Okay, think that's enough. I feel like shuffling this one very thoroughly. All right. So group number 4. The first card that we're going to take is the one that represents you. So who you've become, how you've grown, how you've changed in the rest of this year. And we have the Hanged Man. A card to represent your home and your living situation. We have, we have the 10 of Pentacles. I see this repeating theme of like hanging upside down. Do we have like some kind of aerial athletes in this group, or some kind of swimmers or something like that? For your platonic relationships, we have the Sun and the Devil. For your romantic relationships, we have the Empress. Wow, this is like overwhelmingly major arcana. And that's a really good card for romantic relationships, geez. And then for your career, for your abundance, for the pursuit of your goals, we have the 7 of Swords. And then our bottom of the deck energy is the Page of Swords. Okay, so yeah, we have a lot of major arcana going on here. So I'm about to name off a lot of zodiac signs, but we have Pisces energy here, Leo, Capricorn, Taurus, and Libra. And I also mentioned Aries and Scorpio before, so that's a lot. We got a lot going on. But generally, if a spread has such a large number of major arcana, I do think that this is going to be a very significant time in the person's life, a very formative time in the person's life, or it's going to be a time where you really feel like, that events are fated, or you really feel the power of destiny in your life. So the card that is representing you is the Hanged One. I feel from this card so much spiritual wisdom, but what is really touching me about this card is that the bird in this card looks so playful. I don't know, maybe it's the bright green color. He looks young and innocent and playful and carefree. It's like you guys have managed to become so mature and so wise, and yet you still have your playful spirit and you still have your childlike wonder. I feel like you guys, I do feel that you guys are old souls, and I think that you guys, the way it's coming to me is like you might choose kind of difficult incarnations, or your soul has just chosen kind of difficult incarnations for the past few times, almost as if your soul wanted to learn a lot of lessons in these recent lifetimes, or learn kind of challenging lessons. And so what I think I'm so moved by is that you guys have faced a lot of challenging lessons in this lifetime and in your recent ones, but it's like you still manage to go through life with a smile on your face. You still manage to like spread your smile to others and make others happy. It's like whatever happens, you don't let it get you down, and you keep getting up again. So we have this beautiful, deep old soul. We have this beautiful spiritual wisdom, and then we have this childlike, carefree spirit that are coexisting in this cute little human vessel, and it's just such a lovely energy. What's also really standing out to me is that rather than this bird just hanging from one thread by his ankle, we have all of these red threads tied to him, and this is reminding me of the red thread of fate. So I feel like you guys are definitely noticing not only the role that destiny has played in your life, but how all of these events in your life were kind of like this intricate web. Like everything was woven together so intentionally. All of the parts of your life work together like a tapestry, and I feel like looking back you can see like why everything needed to happen in the way that it did, or in the order that it did. the different chapters of your life were not designed like, what is it called? Exclusive of each other, or apart from each other, or separate from each other. And your life is like all of these moving pieces that are moving in unison. I think you're just in awe of like how elaborate your divine plan is. Like, it was really, really carefully thought through by your higher self and your spiritual team. And I think that's something that is really touching. Like, there was a reason for everything. There was something there to serve you. There was something there to teach you. And it was thought of before your human self even realized it. You know, your human self realizes after, oh, it happened this way because I was going to learn this and this and this. And it's like the thought of your soul and spiritual team having planned that out for you so far ahead of time, and thinking about how all of these events would coincide in your life to bring you to this lesson, or bring you to this epiphany, or lead you to have this experience. It's like, how can you weave something together so perfectly? I think you're really seeing like the divine artistry in your life. And I'm sorry if I'm not like articulating it very well, because I feel like it's kind of abstract, or just kind of hard to explain. But I think it's like this deep awe and this deep appreciation of, you know, your life is so complex, and yet every little bit of it was intentional from your higher self or from your spiritual team. So I see you in an energy of deep gratitude, as well as like a deep serenity and a deep peace, and feeling like you're really in good hands with the universe. You guys might be getting more deeply involved in your spiritual practices by the end of this year. So for example, if right now, at the time that you're watching this, you're someone who enjoys watching tarot videos, by the end of this year, you might get your own deck of cards, or you might start doing readings for yourself or other people, or you might start like offering tarot reading services, or you might start booking sessions with a spiritual healer or a spiritual teacher. I feel like you're taking further steps to advance on your spiritual journey, or to increase your spiritual knowledge. You could start reading a lot of books that are related to spirituality, a lot of books that are related to more more esoteric stuff. You could also be starting to meditate or increasing your meditation practice. But I do feel like by the end of this year, you're really embracing your spirituality more. And there's something about like spiritual growth or spiritual advancement that I'm seeing here. And then moving on, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and this is representing your home and your living situation. This is actually a really nice card for that area of life. Because the 10 of Pentacles talks about stability, and it talks about prosperity. First of all, I want to say that by the end of this year, you guys are doing very, very well financially, and probably, judging by this being the 10 of Pentacles, this is something that you guys have been working up to for several months or even several years. It looks like you're saving a considerable amount of money slowly but steadily. Maybe by the end of the year, we're reaching a specific financial goal that we wanted to reach. Maybe you're like paying off a loan, or paying off a debt, or paying off a mortgage, or something like that. Or you're saving up enough to make a major purchase, or you're saving up for your family, like for your child's college fund or something like that, because this also has to do with our family, or like our legacy, our descendants. So for those of you who do have children or are planning to have children, this is showing me that your whole family is very well taken care of materially. It could also be like you could be taking care of your parents or your siblings or animals or something like that. But those who are in your family and those who you care for are going to be very well taken care of financially as well. And I just see like a feeling of peace being brought to your home. It's like we have everything that we need, and some kind of financial burden is being lifted, or some kind of financial stress is being lifted, either because something is being paid off, or maybe there's some sort of raise that is coming into your household, whether that's you or someone you live with. But this new money coming in, it's going to alleviate like a big financial burden And so we feel like peace in the home, like we're taken care of, we're content, we have everything that we need. I also feel like this could be a favorable time for upgrading your home, whether that is renovating your home or like moving to a nicer home. If you guys are planning, this could be like a favorable time to buy a house, like so to actually own a house. Or if you are selling your house during this time, I feel like you'll get more than what you asked for. But anything about like upgrading your living situation or upgrading your current home, I feel like the rest of 2022 is like a really positive time for that. You guys also might be doing some upgrading with like the outside of the house. So like, I don't know, like putting a garden in or planting some trees or getting a nice lawn, or I don't know, putting like a statue or a fountain or something, or redoing the roof. I feel like something on the outside of the house might be significant. And with this whale, there could be something about water as well. Like maybe you guys are moving to live somewhere by the water, or you're putting in like a pond or a pool or a fountain, like I said before, something with water. Or maybe like redoing the shower or bath or something. Anyway, so it looks very nice for your living situation as well. There might be some kind of family reunion before the end of the year with like extended family, or you're getting to, like maybe you're going to stay with family, or family's coming to stay with you, or you have more quality time with your family or something like this as well. So moving on now, we have the cards representing your platonic relationships. I do feel like these could be representing two different people. The two major arcana that fell out, we have the Sun and the Devil. These are related to the zodiac signs of Leo or Capricorn. So that could be like a hint if you have certain platonic people in your life who fall under those zodiac signs, or these could also be new people who are coming in. But I feel like with the Sun and the Devil, and I do feel like these are friends. It could be family as well, but I feel like it's friendships. I feel like these are people who are going to help you overcome your fears and believe in yourself to try something new or to put something new out there. With the Sun here, I feel like this is representing you guys. It's like you're either putting out a creative project or you're picking up a new hobby, but it's something where you're expressing yourself creatively, or you're just doing something to have fun. So maybe you are like starting to paint, or maybe you are already a painter and you're going to put your art in a gallery or in an exhibition or something like that. So it's like making your art seen or putting your art out there, or enjoying a hobby but like in front of people. So like I feel like this is an example I've used recently, but like going to a dance class, that is, it's just for fun, it's just a hobby, but at the same time, like you're in a class full of people, so people are gonna see you dancing, and there's like the teacher in front of you, so maybe you think the teacher is judging you, or like going to a yoga class and you're kind of shy about that, or even it can even be like going to the gym or something like that, and you're worried. It's like you're expressing yourself in some way, or you're enjoying a hobby in some way, but people are going to be watching, or there's going to be other people around, and then you're going to be kind of like embarrassed about that, or shy or insecure about that, because the Devil represents, like it literally represents insecurity, or that mean voice in your head that holds you back from doing what you want to do, or like convinces you, oh, you don't want to do that, that's going to be bad news. So it's like this Devil is getting in the way of your Sun energy that wants to come out. And I feel like you have these friends, and I feel like it's two friends. Could be one, it could be three, it doesn't matter. But I feel like there's a group of friends that is going to make you feel less afraid. Even just by the fact of like, it's okay, we'll do it with you. So like if you were wanting to go to the gym, go to a yoga class, go to a dance class, whatever, go to a freaking aerial acrobatics class or something like that. These are the friends that will say like, oh, it's okay, we'll come with you. And then you feel less self-conscious. And I can feel like maybe one of these friends has a very good sense of humor, and they'll say like, oh, it's okay, I'll go in like a ridiculous outfit and then everybody's gonna look at me instead and you have nothing to worry about. So I think that, you know, just their presence and the fact that they're gonna accompany you is gonna make it a lot easier. Like you have a buddy to go with, or you have like an accountability buddy. But also I think that they're gonna give you these encouraging words and lift you up. Because the sun, again, it's that Leo energy. It's like, let's hype you up, let's boost your ego, let's make you feel like the superstar that you really are. And let's tackle this devil together. In the case that you guys are putting out some creative works, like you're putting out visual art, you're putting out music or something like that, maybe in that case, it's not necessarily that your friends are doing it with you, although they could definitely be collaborating with you. But in that case, I feel like you're gonna have friends who are like gassing you up, hyping you up, you know, letting you know that you can do it. And for some of you guys, like for those of you who are artists, or there's a project that you're thinking of putting out, I feel like whatever happened here, if you resonate with this, that might have kind of shaken your confidence a little bit. Like maybe you were supposed to get signed somewhere, or you were supposed to get accepted somewhere, or you were supposed to collaborate with someone, and then they suddenly stopped replying, or they suddenly dropped you. That could have shaken your confidence for a while. Like, is it that my work isn't good enough? Is it that I'm too this, too that? And, you know, kind of started to doubt your abilities. And so I feel like with your friends, they're gonna help to really build that confidence back up. So now let's move on to the Empress that we have here, which is your card for romantic love and romantic relationships. And oh my God, this is such a beautiful card to be here. There is something beautiful coming to your love life by the end of the year, whether that is a new love coming in or things moving to the next level with your current partner or your current spouse. Some beautiful abundance is coming your way. I want to say, even for those of you, like, let's say you're already married, so it's like you've kind of reached the top of the journey of love, then the Empress could indicate that a very beautiful new chapter is coming for you and your spouse. So like, you know, we spoke about the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like there's some new source of income that is coming in for you guys, some new abundance, or like your lifestyle is going through some kind of upgrade, because the Empress is about, you know, kind of living lavishly and having this life of abundance and being able to create whatever your heart desires. So there's new abundance coming to you, or like maybe there's some wish that you and your partner have had for a long time. Like you've really wanted to go to this travel destination, but you couldn't because of financial issues, or because of, you know, the situation, are we allowed to say pandemic? I don't know, whatever. Because of the situation with the thing in the world. And so it's like this wish is coming true. We can finally go where we want to go. We can finally make the purchases that we want to make. So for those of you who are already coupled up, it's like your lifestyle is becoming more luxurious, or you're having a financial upgrade. Well, you can do whatever you want with this upgrade. You could donate it if you want to, or you could share it with others if you want to. You don't have to spend it on yourself. I can't tell you what to do, but you know, it would be nice. Anyway, yeah, and for those of you who are single, or you're not in a committed relationship yet, I do feel like the Empress is a beautiful new love coming into your life. For some reason, I do feel called to say new love, like it's a new, well, it could just be a new relationship with a person you already know, but I am getting the vibes of new love, someone who really treasures you, who really respects you, who treats you very, very well, who is very compassionate towards you, very gentle and patient with you, someone you feel really, really safe with. I feel like this is someone who doesn't give you butterflies, because you just immediately feel like you've known them for a million years, and you immediately feel safe. And, you know, I think butterflies tend to come when we're nervous. And this person doesn't make you feel nervous at all. It's like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my best friend. Why would I have butterflies? Like, I'm so cozy with you. I've known you for a million years. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling. It's like someone who feels like your best friend and someone who feels very, very safe. I do have to say with the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress, for those of you who are wanting to have children, wanting to start a family, even if it's non-human children like animals, I do think that the rest of the year could be a really, really good time for that, because the Empress is about you like parenting something or nurturing something, whether that is a baby or a fur baby, or maybe it's both. This could be a time where you're feeling really loving and really nurturing. Oh, and one last thing I want to say is that with this person who's coming in, the physical attraction and the physical compatibility will be very, very amazing. And this is someone who is likely going to be around for a very long time. We do have, I don't know if it's a stork or a crane, or if those are related or the same thing, but it does make me think of like, you know, the stork who's bringing a baby. And so if I translate that a little bit more loosely, it's like a long-term journey, long-term potential with someone, long-term prosperity with someone. This is true love. I'll just put it that way. This is genuinely true love that is coming into your life, and I'm really, really happy to see this. So moving on to the final card now, we have the Seven of Swords, which is talking about our career and our abundance and the pursuit of our goals. It's interesting. The imagery on this card, it makes me think of like walking on eggshells, because the spider is like, I don't know, it's like walking on the knife edge, and it feels like, he has to be careful. And spiders, first of all, I think that spiders are a sign of abundance. I hope that I'm not making that up, but I feel like it said if there's a spider outside of your house or in your house or something, it's like a sign that you're going to be abundant. And then also spiders have 8 legs, and 8 is a number that reminds me of abundance. We already know with the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress that you guys have significant abundance coming to you. But I also think that the spider represents your ability to create your dream life, because the spider spins its web from like inside its body, you know? Like everything it needs to create its world or to create its home is within it. And so I think this spider reminds us like, we have everything we need to create our desired reality already inside us. But when I look at this spider that is like walking on eggshells or walking on the edge of the knife, I feel someone who's being very cautious. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you guys are being encouraged to go big with some goal that you have, or with some career path that you're pursuing, like, or to go all out with your dreams. Maybe some of you guys are playing it safe. Even if you're already in the career field that you want to be in, it's like maybe there's a new position that you want, or maybe you want a raise, or maybe you want to transfer somewhere, or maybe you want to try a project with more responsibility, or you want to expand your business. It's like, I feel you wanting to level up. I feel you wanting to go big and take a little bit of a risk, but it's like you're playing it safe. And, you know, the Seven of Swords is about dishonesty. It's about deception. And I feel like maybe you guys, you're being dishonest with yourself as well as others. Because I feel like you guys are maybe downplaying what you truly want, or downplaying your ambition. For some of you guys, it just came through very clearly that some of you guys are a minority. You might even be like a double or a triple minority. And sometimes in the workplace, you feel uncomfortable like taking up too much space, or you feel uncomfortable like being really ambitious or being really hungry, because you feel like other people might want to like put you in your place. Very, very heavy finger quotes there. But it's like just something that you've been conditioned, that you know is bullshit, but that it's a little bit difficult to unlearn that. And like you're still learning how to take up more space in the workplace, or to go big with your dreams, and like really believe in yourself that you can do it. So it's like, you might be being dishonest with yourself about like, oh, I don't really want it that bad, or actually I'm much more happy just doing this and staying comfortable, when really there's something in your heart that wants to go big. But I also think this is kind of inadvertently being dishonest to others. Like, let's say your company is doing this really big project and you want to be involved in it, but it's like you're just waiting for them to invite you. So you don't have to assert yourself like, I think I would be good for this project. It's not like you're lying to them, but by staying quiet and not saying how you really feel and what you really want to do, you might be inadvertently giving people around you the idea that you don't really want to participate, or that you don't really want that responsibility, or you don't really want that position, or you don't really want to expand in that way. So it's like, I feel like you're being encouraged to speak up and to go big, which can be very scary. And I think it can also be like easier said than done. But I really think with the 10 of Pentacles and the Empress here, if you do take that risk and if you do go big, you will be rewarded in the long term. This is something that would bring consistent and long-term benefits to you. And I think that your higher self wants you to become more comfortable taking up space. And again, like it could have been something over here, like we spoke about at the beginning of the reading, that kind of messed with your confidence, the same way like when we were talking about your friendships. But risk-taking will be rewarded and boldness will be rewarded. I can definitely tell you that. And we even have the Page of Swords here. I feel like you guys, and the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a new start in your career, new money coming in, a new job offer, a new business opportunity. And then with the Page of Swords, like, I feel like you guys need a new challenge mentally. Like, I feel like you just, whatever you're doing for work right now or whatever you're studying right now, it's like you're very comfortable. But I don't know, I feel like you guys might be bored, or you could be getting bored soon, because your mind, you're very clever and you're very intelligent. And I feel like your mind wants a new challenge. Your mind wants to, it's like you want to use parts of your brain that you don't normally use. You want to learn new information. You want to be challenged, or before long, you will want to do something new. You could get kind of like mentally exhausted. And it's interesting that this sword is squiggly. And there's other decks that have this as well, like the Naked Heart, no, not Naked Heart, Rainbow Heart. I get those messed up sometimes. Rainbow Heart Tarot, the Apparition Tarot. I feel like there's cards that have squiggly swords, and that tends to stand out to me because swords represent truth and, you know, directness. And so when it's curved like that, we're kind of distorting the truth, which is what we spoke about with the Seven of Swords. I feel like you guys downplay your intelligence, and you let people explain things to you that you already know, and you let people assign things to you that are way below your capability or way below your level of understanding. And it's like you need to start setting the bar for how people can treat you, or like what people trust you with, and not feel bad about it or not feel apologetic about it. Like it's like you're too smart or you're too capable. Your brain wants to be challenged. That's kind of how it's coming through. And there's more abundance to be had as well. So I don't know, it's time for you guys to level up in some way. It's time for you guys to get that raise, or to get that promotion, or to expand your business. It's time. Yes? Okay, so let's take a look now at this homemade deck and see what else is coming to you guys by the end of this year. We have guidance. So some very valuable advice. For some reason, I'm thinking of like advice from a grandparent, whether they're incarnate or not, like an old, wise, loving family member giving you important advice. Winning. Yeah, I already know that you guys have it in you. You guys are set up to win, set up to be successful. If you guys have like entered any kind of competition or applied for something where there's competition, this winning could mean that you're being selected, that you're beating out the competition. We also have travel. Oh, and be careful what you wish for. Interesting. So it's important for you guys to be very, very honest with yourself. Same with the Page of Swords. That's about being honest and blunt with yourself about what it is that you truly want. Be careful what you wish for, and also be careful what you ask for. Make sure that what you're asking for with your words is in alignment with what you actually want. I'm just seeing someone like saying like, oh no, it's okay, you don't need to do that, because they're trying to be nice, and then the person's like, oh okay, then I won't. It's like, we got to be like, no, actually it would be nice if you could do that, you know? Like, be careful about your words. Don't say words that you don't mean just to be nice or just to make someone else comfortable. So now for these last two oracle cards, except for tea leaves, we are going to take a look at some advice for you, or just other things that you need to know. We have rest. Give yourself time to recuperate. Maybe this travel and rest is a vacation that you guys will be going on. With the Empress, we were talking about new abundance coming in, a more lavish lifestyle, maybe a chance to go to a dream destination. And then we have, promise to love yourself fully. Love yourself fully, respect yourself, stand up for yourself, express yourself. Is this number 33? Yes, it is. So we have 33 here and we have 33 here. That is the Empress's number, by the way. So you are the Empress. Like, just straight up, you're the Empress. Okay, so let's close off this reading now with some tea leaf cards. What else does group number 4 need to know about the rest of 2022? Casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So this could be talking about that closure that you guys are finally getting, so that this person or group will stop living rent-free in your head. You can finally put it to rest. We have fan, romance, celebration, party. Yeah, so there's new or renewed romance coming into your life for sure. We have purse, pay attention to your finances. We have club. Yeah, someone will try to make you do something against your will. That's why it's so important for you guys to be able to speak up. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna take the one that came face up. The mountain road, you are on the road to success. And we have butterfly, a change for the better. Yay! Okay, so group number 4, these are all the messages I'm seeing for you guys. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4, I'm sending you guys so much love. I'm wishing you an amazing rest of the year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!